Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Ba-doop, ba-doop. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, let's go. Oh, no, that's not what the one. What do I want to say? All right, hey, make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Is there a bio? Not really. Loud ass spacebar. It is, yeah. It's because it's a nice ass spacebar. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you indeed do think that there's something wrong with being gay. If you don't fit that criteria, don't request to join. And with that, we'll go to the very first guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hi,
Yeah, how old are you?
19.
Okay, and do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
I think that there's something wrong with the LGBTQ community, not directly gay, but the trans community.
Well, I'm asking about, like, today we're talking about being gay. Do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Oh, then no, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Well, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, I ask that you disagree with the prompt, that you think that there's something wrong with being gay. I also ask that you have, you obviously got to be 18 or older. It's like non-negotiable, TikTok terms of service. But I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope, you're having a good day regardless of who you are or where you're at right now. I think everybody deserves a good day. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, sorry if I'm bad at English, man.
That's okay. Did we talk before?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. I forget how our conversation went, but sure. I guess, why do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Well, basically, you say there's nothing wrong with being gay, like absolutely nothing wrong.
Nothing
With
inherently
being gay.
wrong. Certainly, you could be gay and then, in your being gay, you do bad things. But I don't know. I think that's going to be
Just
true
like
of straight
being,
people too.
yeah, but like if everyone was gay, like women were lesbians and men were gay, that would be completely normal if everyone in the world was gay.
Yeah. For my job, I'm a software engineer. If everybody in the world was a software engineer, then we would all starve to death because there would be no farmers and there would be no food. I don't think that from the fact that we would all starve to death if everybody was a software engineer, that it follows that it's wrong to be a software engineer.
Yeah, but like if we were all software engineers.
Yeah. Then we would all starve to death.
So basically, it's okay. Actually, yeah, good point, bro. No, actually, I have no argument then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's totally fine. Do you have anything else?
No, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming up. Appreciate you. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all the good stuff. I hope everybody's having a spectacular day. I don't know. I guess that argument is like better than I thought it would be. Maybe that might just be like an unstoppable argument, but it's like, I don't know. That is, when I've previously debated this topic, I feel like that's like one of the questions that I struggled with, which is like, well, if we were all gay, then we would all die, or like there would be no human race. But I think it's like the sort of thing, like, obviously that isn't how we assess like right and wrong. So you can just find something else that is obviously not wrong. And then you can demonstrate that that also doesn't pass the test. But hey, if you disagree with that topic, I currently have 0 people, not a single person requesting to join. If you want to debate this topic, you got to be 18 or older. You got to believe that there is something wrong with being gay. And those are the only criteria. Isn't that cool? You could debate this. We could be debating this right this second. If you don't want to, yeah. Otherwise, I'll have to yap to fill the time. Wouldn't that be awkward? Wouldn't that be sad? Um, no, people are saying do the God topic. Uh, I think the God topic is fun, but I want to get a bit of variety. All right, we have another one. Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Doing well. How old are you?
40.
Yep. And do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Yeah, this is all my personal opinion. I'm against the glamorization of it.
Can you speak up a
I
bit?
think
It's a
it's
bit hard to hear you.
yeah, I said yeah, I'm against the glamorization of it. I think the left glamorizes being
I feel like I
gay.
heard you better for like a second, and then I went back to not being able to hear you very well.
Here, how's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Actually, maybe I'll just turn your volume up, and then maybe that'll just be fine. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what that means, but do you want to elaborate a little bit on that, like what it means to glamorize being gay?
Yeah, I don't think that there should be drag time story hour for kids, and I don't think there should be gay pride parades in the middle of a Sunday afternoon. I believe in
Hmm.
tolerance.
Hmm.
I just think I think this has to do with Hollywood and the Frankfurt School and postmodernism.
Okay. So there's a kind of a whole bunch of things going on there. I'm not sure that there's any inherent connection between being gay and like drag time or drag queen story hour. I think it totally depends on the sort of outfit that they're wearing as to whether or not I'm going to be okay with that. I think that I think that to kids like a lot of drag queens are presumably just going to look like clowns. They're gonna have like these big flashy outfits and these, it's gonna be all colorful and there's gonna like a face full of makeup. Like it's gonna be um I don't know. Like I don't see why that would be like inappropriate to have around children.
Well, my understanding of a drag queen is a gay man dressing up as a woman. Is that not the way you define a drag queen?
No, typically it's just somebody who's a man who identifies as a man, dressing up as a woman, and there's like a specific aesthetic to it. It's like they aren't trying to like pass as a woman. That's not the point of like drag. It's like a very like over the top type of aesthetic. Like it's supposed to be like way too much almost.
Yeah, I think the left is trying to create a dynamic where gender and sexuality are fluid. I think that people are very malleable, especially children. And I think that while there is a genetic component to somebody being gay, it also has to do with the environment and culture. I'd look at the society of ancient Greece, and I think childhood trauma, such as SA, is a
Mm.
factor as well.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really compelling if there was like any sort of evidence for that. But instead, all of the evidence suggests that being gay is largely a factor of your epigenetic conditions. Specifically, the environment that determines whether or not you'll be gay is the womb, which is why the single greatest predictor of you being gay is whether or not the mother that births you has previously birthed sons. With every additional son, it's more and more likely that they're gay. And this effect holds even if they're adopted or even if they grow up in like a different environment. Kind of just all the evidence suggests that epigenetic factors are what determines it.
Well, I all morally questionable behavior, I believe, comes down to a conflict between the id and the superego. So there's genetic predispositions to all kinds of things. That doesn't mean that that people should you know succumb to these things. Like for example, I would imagine there's a genetic predisposition for people being P3DOs, but that doesn't that's obviously wrong.
Yeah,
And it's I'm not
totally.
I'm
I mean,
not
that totally
comparing
could be
that.
the case. I agree with that. But I think that there's like key differences between being gay and being, a P3do, namely consent. So
Well,
like,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I don't think that people have the capacity to choose the people that they're attracted to, and I'm going to evaluate the actions that they take when they take actions. I don't think that there's anything wrong with taking, like, gay actions, of course, like, depending on what the action is. Um, Whereas I do think that there's, like, something inherently wrong with performing, like, PDF actions.
Look, I agree. I mean, it's I like I say, I tolerate somebody being gay. I do not tolerate P3DO behavior. So I
Mhm,
know
of
it's.
course.
I'm just saying I'm just saying that the attraction might not necessarily P3DOs probably don't really have a control over their attraction. They can control their behavior, which I think is the same thing with somebody who's gay. If somebody
And
wants
the
to
same thing
convince,
with people who are straight. You know,
yeah,
I don't think straight people control who they're attracted to. And then, you know, it's totally permissible to have a sexual relationship with somebody who's consenting and they don't have like problematic dynamics. But of course, right, like if you're attracted to someone and then you're straight and you go like grape them, well, obviously that would be wrong. But I guess I'm not really sure. It's unclear to me how being gay would be like a unique factor here.
well, it could be. It's like I like to drink gin, and I probably have a genetic predisposition to that, but I still can choose to drink gin or not,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. I just don't really know how that like, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to map onto because I don't disagree, like, I totally agree. I think largely who you're attracted to is outside of your control.
Yeah, no, I mean, do you define being gay by attraction or behavior, or is it both? Is it one more than the other?
Probably attraction. Because, for example, when I was, like, 13 or let's go even earlier, when I was, like, 10, I was, like, attracted to the girls that were my age. Um, and I wasn't attracted really to, like, the boys that were my age. But despite the fact that I hadn't actually, like, done any of the behaviors, I think it would make sense to say that I was straight, or I don't know, it gets messy when you throw in gender, but yeah.
Well, again, I think people are very malleable. So, I mean, don't you think a society like ancient Greece is going to have a lot more people engaging in gay behavior?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah, I think what that would make me infer is that a lot of people probably do have the potential to be, like, bisexual, and if you look to some of our closest relatives, things like bonobos, you know, bonobos are basically universally bisexual. I wouldn't be too surprised if, most individuals had the capacity to be, like, bisexual, depending on cultural factors, but no, I don't think that if you're like, gay, like, fully gay, I don't think that that's the sort of thing that comes about via cultural factors.
I mean, so if people are bisexual, they would have a choice, wouldn't they? Or do they not?
Yeah, I mean, they have, like, a choice
To
to the
act.
extent that they could, well, I mean, I guess I'd probably say you're still gonna feel attracted to the people that you feel attracted to, you're not gonna feel attracted to people that you don't feel attracted to, but I don't know, it's really gonna depend on the person, but you're not going to be excluding, like, a category just on the basis of their, gender, whereas you might do that if you're straight or gay.
You know, I guess I would wonder what percentage do you think of Gen Zers? I think it's probably it's pretty high. What percentage do you think of this as social contagion, where it's kind of
I
the
don't
cool
even know
thing
what
to
that
do?
means. I don't think it's
It
the cool
means
thing
that
to do. In fact, I think, like, if you're gay, you get, like, the fuck bullied out of you.
you think that's the case even of.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
was
look
in
pretty. What?
2nd grade, and then the kid I didn't even know what it meant to be gay, but the kid behind me was calling me gay.
You know, I don't. I would imagine I'm older than you. I don't know if you're in your mid 20s or early. I don't know
Yeah.
how old you are.
Yeah,
Is that what you are?
mid-20s.
20?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I don't. I would imagine that even more so than your generation, the young people who are teenagers or younger now, I think it's going to be even a higher percentage because it's been. I would imagine there's like pride flags in the classroom and
Oh, that's delusional. That's, like, almost certainly I mean, if there are, like, if there's, like, a pride flag in the classroom, that's gonna be, like, few and far between. You're probably gonna be able to find some classrooms where that's true, but this is gonna be, like, exceptionally rare.
yeah. I mean, I'm just I mean, I just wanted to see. I believe in being tolerant. I don't mind if gay people have their nightclubs and these types of things. I think they're indoctrinating young people into
I
this
think there's
idea.
no evidence for that.
Well, I would recommend I don't know if you're familiar with James Lindsay, but he talks a lot about this stuff. So
I'm not familiar with James Lindsay. Maybe you could help me make sense of like a piece of data that's quite perplexing. I was recently listening to like a gay Catholic talk about his life, and one of the things that he talked about is the fact that he's committed himself to lifelong celibacy because he thinks Catholicism is true, and there's a strict prohibition on enacting gay behavior, but he's not attracted to women. He can't make himself attracted to women. Um, so instead, there he is just being like celibate his entire life. And I think that's like, from the perspective of somebody who's a gay Catholic, I think that makes sense. That is the sort of conclusion that you'd end up with. But I mean, like, if it was just a choice, or if it's just like a matter of social contagion, then why wouldn't he simply just choose to be straight?
Look, I would say that that Catholicism has a real issue with denial about this. I would agree with you on that. I would say that. I think in the Vatican, I would estimate it's probably 75% of the clergy are into of being gay. That's my opinion. Yeah. So the Catholic Church has a lot of denial about this, I would say.
Sure. Although, I mean, it's strange, right? And well, I don't think those numbers that you throw out are accurate. And those seem like way overinflated. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of strange though, right? Like if it's a social contagion, if it's the sort of thing that you can be socially influenced into being, like, sexuality is just a thing where society can influence you to be a specific one. And I mean, I think there are probably like I probably agree with you to like some extent that there's like going to be light variations depending on your society. Like ancient Greece, ancient Athens is a great example of that, where basically everybody was bisexual. um it just kind of seems really strange, because I don't know what that tells me is that for sure there's going to be a lot of people who have no choice, like all these Catholics who are gay but are celibate their entire lives are they have no choice in the matter. If they did, they would just be straight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you are you do you know who so you don't know who James Lindsay is?
Is that, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but is that the guy whose like wife like left him because he
No,
kept on
James
posting about like
Lindsay,
trans stuff? Oh no,
you know,
I'm thinking of Graham. Thinking of someone on Twitter. Real ones
he
will know who
did
I'm talking about.
he's a PhD mathematician. He did the grievance studies, like the hoax papers, where he took like Mr. Mustache's manifesto MK and just changed the wording around a little bit, where he replaced Jewish people with straight white men. Yeah, he talks a lot about like woke culture and its detrimental effects.
Okay, well, I mean, I
So,
think if somebody's advocating genocide against any group, or if somebody supports the genocide of any group, I certainly disavow that.
well, the idea of these hoax papers was to show that this is what I was saying earlier. College is a big part of the problem of the political left. This has to do with postmodernism, and what he did is he submitted these hoax papers where they were intentionally absurd to just point out how crazy the colleges have gotten with this woke agenda.
Did he ever get them published in like a peer-reviewed journal?
Some of them did, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that would be quite interesting. I wonder which peer-reviewed journals they got published in.
Yeah, I think it came out that it was like an intentional hoax. But yeah, if you just do a search on like grievance studies affair, you'll see what I'm
Yeah.
talking.
What do we got? Uh, peer review. Wonder which journals.
He did the papers along. I think it was with like Helen Pluckrose and Peter Boghossian.
We know from long experience that expert peer review. Which journals did he get them published in?
I'm not sure, but I think that like seven were it came out that it was a hoax, but I think he did a total of like 20, and I think seven were accepted.
Okay. Um, yeah. Well, okay, sure. I think the problem is that for a lot of these fields that he's getting published in, I'd probably just agree with you that they are saying like gibberish. And that kind of comes down to like the origins, like philosophically speaking, that a lot of them have like continental philosophy origins, and then continental philosophy allows for metaphors instead of arguments. But if you go into something like, I don't know, an analytic philosophy journal, there's no shot that you'd ever get something like this published there. So I don't know. I'm not really sure. I also think that this is probably too far astray from the gay topic.
Well, I guess I mean the reason I was talking about Lindsay was because so you don't think that that young people, especially young people, can be influenced into becoming gay or
Not like full on gay, no. I think that you're either going to be attracted to folks or you're not going to be. I don't think that it can be. I think like you might suppress your attractions if they're like light enough, depending on your society, or not suppress your attractions, uh, depending on the society. But no, I don't think that. I think like the sort of like change in sexuality from society to society, I think you'd have like roughly the same sexuality in society to society.
So when you say there's nothing wrong with it, does that mean that it's right or that it's like morally neutral?
It's like morally permissible. You don't do wrong by doing it, is my claim.
Kind of like me drinking gin.
Yeah, although of course, like that's a good example because there's certainly an amount of gin and like certain gin-based practices that would be immoral. But yeah, there's nothing inherently wrong with you drinking gin.
Mm.
Do you disagree with that?
Yeah. No, I don't think there is
Okay.
anything wrong.
Well, I might move on to the next one then, but I appreciate you coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible. Or, don't do that one. Make sure that you think that there is something wrong with being gay as we go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
What's up? My muscle memory kicking in.
Yeah, one sec. Let me go ahead and readjust audio. Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 19 and I live in Germany.
Yeah. Did we talk recently?
No.
Okay. Do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Not directly, but I would say indirectly. So, do you think, is there like something wrong with being lesbian?
No.
So,
not inherently.
Okay. So, there's like nothing wrong with being gay or lesbian, right? Like nothing.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it, no.
Like 0%, right?
I don't really know how we're going to be describing things as like percentage wrong.
Like,
I think that there's like ways to permissibly be gay and lesbian.
Like 100%ly you're certain that being gay or lesbian is like there's nothing wrong with it. Like you 100%
Yeah, pretty
certain.
sure.
Okay.
Nothing inherently wrong with it.
Okay, I get it. So you have like a button, like you could like either make everyone lesbian or gay or everyone straight. Like which one would you choose? Like you have the power. Like imagine this. You have the
wow. I mean, I value the existence of future people, and we'd probably have like more of those. So yeah, I probably would do straight. I don't think that means that there's anything wrong with being gay. I'll give you a wait. Can I ask you like a button question? So let's say that you had a button in front of you.
No, I reject that because I want.
Okay, you're rejecting the ability for me to ask
we're going off topic, and I want to talk about this.
I was gonna ask you about. I was gonna give you like a parody argument. We're gonna do a similar button case. So there's a button in front of you, and if you push the button on the left, everyone becomes farmers, and if you push the button on the right, everyone becomes like doctors. Which button should you push?
I don't know.
So if you push the farmer button, then or if you push the doctor button, then everyone starves to death.
I don't want to have to.
Fuck! I didn't realize that was an option. Then I'll just push neither of the buttons.
Oh, so okay. So you would.
I just pushed neither of the buttons.
So you said before it's straight, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
That's what I would choose too.
Yeah, actually, I didn't realize that those were my options. Unlike you, I don't typically try to weasel out of questions. So, I try to engage with the question as it's presented. Given the option of not being able to choose, I'd just not choose.
You did pick.
You didn't tell me that I had the option of not choosing. So, do I have the option to not choose? Because if I have the option of not choosing, then I'll just not choose.
Okay. So we play this game. So you have to choose one, and I would choose the farmers.
Sure. Does that mean that there's something wrong with being a doctor?
No.
Okay,
But-
cool. Yeah, then I would choose the straight people. And I don't
But
think that
there's-
means that there's something wrong with being gay.
But if you choose straight, humanity will live. Humanity will not die. But if you choose gay or lesbian, the humanity will die.
And you do think that by pushing the button, if it leads to the death of humanity, that would be wrong?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So then you would say that it would be wrong to be a doctor, because if you push the button where everyone becomes a doctor, then you all starve to death because nobody's growing the food.
No, I picked farmers.
Yeah, I know. But if you did push the doctor button,
No, I picked
then
farmers.
yes, and I picked straight. You're not tracking.
Dude, I picked farmers.
Yeah, and I picked straight.
Humanity will live.
And humanity will live with the option that I put forward.
Dude, I picked farmers, but if
He's
you
like
choose
literally
gay,
not tracking, dude. He thought that I gave a different answer. That's pretty brutal. This is like a pretty brutal tracking failure.
bro, you're trying to like
Oh
use
gosh,
your chat
he has
to
like
make
the
you feel
dialogue
better.
tree in front of him. I didn't even appeal the chat.
Bro, you pick straight, guys. I
I
can't.
did. Yeah, it's literally what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, you know why? Because
Yeah.
there's something wrong with
Yeah,
being
it's 'cause
gay when it comes
no, that
to
doesn't
making
follow.
babies.
If that was true, then there would be something wrong with being a doctor, because you picked farmers
I
over
choose
doctors.
farmers.
I know, yeah,
No.
which means that there must be something wrong
You
with
know
being
why?
a doctor. You know, all these
You know why?
doctors, all the people that go to medical school are doing something deeply immoral.
So if everyone goes to medical school,
then nobody
so
will grow
there
the
would be
food.
like
So
no
then it's
food
immoral to
supply.
be a doctor.
No. There would be like no food supply if everyone would be
Yeah.
a doctor. But
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
that's why it should.
Yeah, which means that there must be something wrong with being a doctor, because everyone would die
No, if
we
everyone,
all became
if everyone
doctors.
would be a doctor. No. You're telling me that if everyone would be a doctor, then humanity will die because there's no food supply. But if you're a farmer, you have food.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's my exact point.
Yeah, and you chose straight for a reason.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's because I do value the continued existence of humanity. But that doesn't
So
mean that
there's
there's something wrong with being gay.
when it
No, that
comes to
doesn't
making
follow,
babies.
because that would imply specifically that there's something wrong with being a doctor.
Dude, I'm not talking about the doctor. I'm talking about the fact
about
that
the doctor. It's like kind of miraculous that you don't understand the analogy. It's like super straightforward, I fear. You know, your argument is that given a button, if you're forced to make a choice between making everybody straight and everybody gay, that you should choose the option of making everybody straight for the continued existence of humanity. And then from that, you draw the implication that it's wrong to be gay. But we can do a parody argument. No, your conclusion wasn't that it's wrong to be gay? That wasn't your conclusion?
No, it's wrong if everyone would be gay or straight, because according to your claim, there's like nothing wrong, but in fact there is something wrong.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being gay.
No.
That wouldn't be something inherently wrong with it. That would be
your
something
claim says
based
that
on
there's
external
nothing
factors.
wrong.
Correct.
Dude,
Do you think that there's something inherently wrong with being a doctor?
No, but if everyone would be doctor,
but if everyone
this
was a
would
doctor, so do you see the double standard? You're saying if everyone was gay, we would all die. So then there must be something wrong with being gay. But then you don't apply the same standard to doctors. Well, if everyone was a doctor, then we would all starve to death. That doesn't mean that you've done something wrong by becoming
everyone would be
a doctor.
straight, we would live along.
Yeah, and if everyone was a farmer, we would live longer than if everyone was a doctor.
No, we
but that
would
doesn't
live
mean that there's something
along,
wrong
not
with
longer, dude.
Oh, we would live along? I don't know why
Yeah.
gay people. You mean get along?
We would live in the like humanity will not die out.
Yeah, same thing with choosing farmers over doctors. I'm actually like, okay, I think I'll give you like maybe like one more misunderstanding, like one more time to try to get this point off the ground. Do you have like a symmetry breaker between like the doctor's case and the gay straight case?
Dude, I don't want to talk about either the doctor or the farmers. I don't want to. I want to talk about being.
Okay, on to the next one. What a critical inability to engage, dude. Holy shit.
That was so bad.
It's like dire out here. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I hope the argument made sense. I felt like it was like super
No, it did. It
simple.
was no, it did. You just TikTok friendly language.
Okay. Well, hey, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's read some supers. Thanks so much for the super chat. First demanded acceptance, then demanded inclusion. What will they demand next? I don't know, man. Yeah, you should give them like inclusion in the sense that you shouldn't exclude them. Feels like obvious.
That's so funny. That reminds me of whenever we first were fighting to not be illegal, like gay people to exist in public, and then we asked for marriage rights, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 that's too much. Wait, you want marriage rights? Do you want divorce rights too?"
Yeah. What the fuck? God, you want the ability to like own a home together? Yeah, how could you? Relaxer Special ASMR, thanks so much for the super chat. My understanding is that ancient Greece didn't have the gay straight concept like we do. They had a concept of active/passive partner, sub/dom, basically. That's true, but especially in places like Athens, there would be a phase in the lives of most young men wherein they would enter into like, I don't know what the percent breakdown would be, but I know that it was like for certain groups of people, like based on your social class, it was like very, 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 very common that you would enter into like a sub relationship, like a passive partner relationship, and then your active partner would be like some sort of like mentor figure. I don't know. All right. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you do think that there's something wrong with being gay. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it
Hello.
going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. How old are you?
30.
Yep. And do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
According to my religious belief, yes.
Okay. What's your religion?
I'm Christian.
Okay. Why would I take seriously the ethics of a book that says that you can own slaves?
Well, you have to understand the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I just believe that you don't understand the Bible. And we're
Okay.
not really talking about slaves, we're talking about being gay.
Yeah, but if your ethical system is true, then it was okay for the Israelites to own slaves. Do you think it was okay for the Israelites to own slaves? Is that like morally acceptable?
To own them?
Yeah.
And what were they? Why were they slaves? Like, they have indentured slaves, they have, like, what's
Nope, you'd
that?
get slaves by going and conquering groups of people. What's there's even like a verse where God is describing like what you should do when you go visit like the nations around you, that you should with the intent to conquer them, you should go in there and demand basically that they all become your like forced laborers.
Do you know why he said that?
It's because he's a sick fuck. It would be my judgment.
So you don't know why he said that?
Well,
You
I would
can't
say
just
that
make.
it's because he's a sick fuck and he doesn't actually
Well, that's
exist.
because you think that. But you
It's a
don't know God to
contradiction.
know that. No, it's not. It's a
Well, it certainly
contradiction to
is,
you
unless you
because you
think that
don't
it's
know.
like fine to enslave an entire nation of
You,
people.
well, if you know God, right, and you've asked him why he did this or why he did that, then you would understand.
Have
But
you
you
asked
never
him?
did. You just, yes.
Yeah, sure. So would you want to convey the answer? Like, why would God say
I
that you
believe
could
that
enslave
God,
entire nations of
I believe,
people?
well, I'm not speaking on that topic. I'm speaking on the topic
It sounds
of
like you
being
haven't asked
gay.
him.
Are we speaking about being gay or are we talking
God,
about being in slavery?
I guess I'll phone him because you won't. Hey, God, we were just trying to determine why it is that you said you could own an entire nation of people as slaves.
Okay, now wait for your answer.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay, so when you get
Should I
then we
accept
can
it?
talk
Should I
about that.
expect it like anytime soon?
No,
No,
when
because we're
you
going to
get
continue
it,
to talk about it. So I did what
when
you
you
asked
get
me
the
to do, and then it
answer,
failed.
no,
We
when
tried
you
your
get the
method, and it fell
answer,
apart in front
but
of
did you get the
everyone.
answer?
Nope,
Did you get
no
the answer?
answer. Radio
So then when you get
silence.
it, then we can talk
No,
about
we're
it.
going to keep on talking about
But
it. You
let's
said that
talk
you
about
asked
being
that
gay.
question. Whoa, you said that you asked that
Okay,
question.
you
We are
ask
talking about being
God.
gay. You said that it's wrong in virtue of the Bible saying that it's wrong.
Yes,
But if that were
yes. So
true,
let's
if
stick
that
to
was our
that.
moral standard, then we would have to conclude
Yes,
that it's totally fine for the Israelites to own
that's
slaves.
my moral standard.
Yeah,
You're
so you
asking me,
do you think it's fine for the Israelites to own slaves?
do I think it's fine?
Yeah.
If God states that it's fine, then I would go in and look for it and figure out why it's fine.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Jesus.
Yeah.
You think it's fine to own slaves?
Can we read in the context of the
Yeah.
verse?
What sort of context would you like to add? to
So
make the
let's go
bullet
to the
bite
verse
of
that
you
you're
saying
talking
that it's
about.
fine to own slaves a bit
Let's go to the
easier.
verse you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Leviticus 25, 44 through 46. I'll read it to you.
Okay, let's go.
Yep. As for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may also keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. So it's saying
And
you can
how do
own
you
these
treat
people
a
as
slave?
property.
Did he tell you how to treat a slave?
Yeah, we're so fortunate that he did tell us. If you turn to Exodus 21, 20 through 21, it says, when a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there's no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property. So let's do a quick pop quiz, like a reading comprehension section.
So do you
Let's
know
say,
what that means?
sorry, quick question.
Do you know what that means?
Whoa, quick question. Let's say that you beat the dog fuck out of your slave. You have a slave and you wail on them, but then they get up and are back at working. You know, you only
So what verse
debilitated
is
them for
that?
2 days. That's
What verse
Exodus
is that?
21, 20 through 21. What
So
would
let
the
me go to
punishment
there
be
because
if
you're
you beat
speaking
the
too
dog
fast.
fuck out of your slave?
You're not allowing me to go to
Okay.
it. You're just trying to
Okay.
speak
I
fast
can read
about
it
what your
again.
opinion is on the Bible,
Sorry, I'll
and you're
speak
not
a
letting
bit
me read it.
slower for you.
I'm not asking you to speak slow. I'm saying let me get to the verse so
Okay.
I can go to it.
Okay.
So what is it?
It's Exodus 21, 20 through 21.
21, 20 through 21.
Remember, like the Jeopardy question to double your current point count is going to be if you beat the fuck out of your slave, but you don't do any permanent damage, and they're back working in 2 days, what sort of punishment do you receive?
So do you know why these laws existed at that time?
It's because God's not real, dude.
No, because slavery existed at that time.
God legislates slavery.
And so, no, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He gave these laws.
He told them what they should do during that time. Just like when he
Why didn't he
told
say
people
don't own
that, hold on,
slaves?
let me explain.
Okay.
Just like he told them, right, at a certain period of time, they wasn't allowed to get tattoos because of the fact of a certain group that he didn't want them to be aligned with, right? But that does not mean that right now we're not allowed to have tattoos. So when it
Is there
comes
any
to
verse where he
slavery,
outlaws slavery?
where he outlaws it,
Yeah.
he teaches us. I mean, we're slaves to sin.
We're
We're
not.
slaves to, yes, we are. According
Sin
to the
doesn't
Bible,
come
we
down
are.
here and beat me with a rod. You know, sin doesn't sell
Sin
me to
sends you to
people.
hell. Sin sends you to
Hell's
hell.
not real, my dude.
Well, I'm not
I'm
asking
not
you
speaking
about
about
your belief.
metaphorical slavery. I'm
I'm
speaking
not
about
asking your
literal
belief.
slavery.
I'm not asking
You're
your
putting
belief.
forward your beliefs and you're trying to justify
Yes, but
them.
I'm not asking you yours.
I understand that, yeah, and I'm telling you that in order to establish the argument that you're trying to establish,
So
you
do
need
you
to
know the
demonstrate
Bible?
the existence of hell.
Do you know the
Yeah,
Bible?
I've read the entire Bible.
So you know it. I'm not asking if you read it. Did you study it?
I don't know what it means to know it. Are you asking if do I have it memorized? I don't
didn't
have the
ask
Bible
you that. I
memorized, if
said,
that's the
did you
question.
study?
Did I
Reading
study
and
it?
studying is two
Yes,
different things.
yes, I did study the Bible.
So you studied it. How did you
Yes.
study?
Yeah, I went through, and then for all the sections, I read all the footnotes, and then they would lead to, like, you know, further paths related to translation and how you should go about matching, like, the Hebrew word and, like, understanding it, going through and specifically taking note of all the connections between the verses, which the footnotes indicate.
So do you know God?
God's not real.
So then the Bible won't make sense to you.
It doesn't make sense.
That's it.
It's like
Of
obviously
course,
evil.
it's not supposed
You
to
know,
make
you have
sense.
this all good lawgiver who's saying that you can own slaves.
But you don't know the Bible and
That's
you don't know God.
nonsense.
If you don't know God, you can't tell me about the Bible.
God's not real, bud.
I don't care about your beliefs. I'm
Okay.
telling you, if you don't know the Bible, if you don't know God, you can't tell me about the Bible.
So I guess to, like, summarize the gay argument, why the fuck would I take seriously your ethics when you think it's okay to beat the fuck out of slaves?
Why would I take your ethics if you don't know God and you don't know the Bible?
God's not real, bud. You're delusional.
But you're making
You think
up
slavery
stuff.
is okay. You're a sick fuck.
No, I didn't say that.
Ooh, sorry, was slavery okay when God said that you could do it?
Do you know God?
Yes or no? Was
Do
slavery
you know
okay when
God?
God said that you could
Do
do
you
it?
know God?
No.
Because if you know
God's
God,
not
you would
real.
understand why he did
I've
it.
already answered this
But you don't
question.
know.
You're concussed.
So then you can't tell me about
Sorry,
the
answer the
Bible.
question. Yes or
You
no?
can't
Was
tell
it
me about the
okay when God
Bible.
said that you could do it?
Can you tell me about the Bible? Yes
Yeah,
or
what do you
no?
want to I'm already telling you about the Bible. You didn't know about
How
these
can you tell me
verses.
about something you don't
Because
believe?
you
You
haven't
don't
read the
believe in
Bible
God. You
clearly.
don't know God.
You clearly haven't
You
read the
don't know
book.
God.
I'm
Do you
helping you
know
read the
God?
book for the first time. I've
Do you
already
know
answered this
God?
question. You're like
Do you know
short-circuiting.
God?
I've answered
So
this
if you don't
question
know
like 4 or
God,
5 times. I don't know
if you
why.
don't
I don't know
know
what sort of
him,
answer, you know.
if
He's
you
hoping that he's
don't
going to
know
pull a
him,
different answer out of a hat or
if you
something.
don't know
God, you
him,
know, he
how
thinks
can
I'm
you
going to
tell
start like
me
imploding
about
into
God?
flames, you know.
How
I'm
can
going
you
to
tell
like
me
repent
about God?
immediately. How about you just answer
How
the
can you tell me
question?
about God?
How about you answer
How
the
can you tell me about
question?
God?
Say yes or no question.
We're talking about
God's
it. We're
not real,
talking
big
about it.
dog, because I can talk to your
So then
beliefs, because
why
I
are
can
you
read your
talking
book,
about
because I can
him?
comprehend your book, because
So
you're
why are you
appealing to
talking
the
about him?
Bible, stupid fuck.
Yeah, but you asked
You're
me
incapable of
about being
tracking. You
gay.
literally said
You're
that being
asking
gay
me
is
about
wrong
being
because the
gay.
Bible says that it's
You're
wrong.
asking me
Yeah,
about
and I'm
being gay,
demonstrating to you
right?
that this is an
And I
absurd moral
told you,
standard. It's a
based on
crazy
my
moral
religious
standard.
belief,
I
based on
understand
my
that it's
religious
based on your
belief, I
religious
don't.
beliefs, and I'm
Okay,
telling you why
then.
that's an
So I
insane
don't
fucking
care about
standard,
your
because
belief.
that commits you to things like saying that it
Okay.
was okay to own slaves at some
Okay.
point.
So, all right. So, So you're saying this, right? You're saying that when I said that this is my religious belief, right?
Mhm.
You said that well, it upholds slavery, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
what
it
you said, right?
specifically says that the
So
Israelites could own slaves, and that if God's
so
a morally
okay.
perfect lawgiver, if this is our moral
All right,
standard,
that's
then
fine.
you'd be committed to
That's
saying
fine.
that the Israelites owning slaves was good.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We can
Was
go.
it?
We can go
Are you
through.
committed to
No, I'm
saying that? Do you
saying.
believe that?
No, I'm saying we can go
Do you
through
believe
whatever
that?
you're saying. Can I answer the question?
Yeah,
We
it's
can
just
go
a yes or
through
no
whatever you're
question.
saying.
Yeah.
We can go through whatever you're saying. The reality of it is that it doesn't really. You're asking me my opinion. That's what you're asking me. You're not telling me. You're not like you don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe that being gay is a sin because you don't believe in God. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter. But you're
Mhm.
asking people, right?
Mhm.
Is there anything wrong with being gay? And you're asking me, and I told you that my religious belief tells me that being gay is wrong. So that's what I believe.
And in the end, you've been reduced to, well, that's just my belief. No shit, it's your belief.
Okay, then. So then what's
It
the
leads to
issue?
absurdities because you're
What's the
committed to
issue?
saying that slavery was good at some point.
So what's the issue?
Because slavery is fucked up. It's wrong.
Okay,
It's
but that's to
bad to own
you.
slaves,
That's
and
all
you
right.
can't
So
claim
okay,
that.
so now you're picking
Yeah,
and
he
choosing
became
what's
a
right and
moral
wrong.
relativist.
Where did you get that
Oof,
it's wrong?
you're gonna
Where
get
are you getting
brutalized on
that?
this one. Yeah,
Where
it's
are
gonna
you
be
getting that
objectively
from?
wrong insofar as it entails a
Why?
contradiction.
Why?
Yeah, because you're committed both to the view that agency is sufficient for the right to freedom and well-being, but
So
also insufficient. In order to
where
have
are
the
you
freedom
getting
and
your beliefs
yeah,
from?
laws of logic. The laws of logic necessitate specific
So
moral
that's your
standards.
God?
Nope.
Laws of logic.
Nope, God's not real.
That's
I
your
don't believe in
God?
a personal ultimate foundation.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. So, I mean,
I
I
don't
can say that
understand
slavery
what
is always wrong. You can't say that slavery is always wrong. I think I'm just going to
well,
prefer my
I
ethical system
believe
that says that it's okay to be gay.
like when it comes to the whole slavery thing, that's something that I have to look into. So it's not something that I can answer off. I can answer the part about being gay. I can answer the part about the slavery part because I haven't really got into that portion. So that's why I said, could we stay on
What
the
makes you think
portion
that the
about
Bible
being
is
gay?
true?
Because Jesus has saved my life and I had a certain addictions and things that I was struggling with. And when I received Christ, I was free from those things. And I've seen him when I called on his name, I was healed. And when I called on his name, things just happened that I didn't expect to happen.
Sure,
So
yeah. So
I believe in
your
Christ
coping
because of that.
mechanism made you homophobic, it sounds.
My coping mechanism?
Yeah, it sounds like you got like a coping mechanism to sort out your personal problems, and then your coping mechanism convinced you that like gay people are bad.
No, the Bible says that being gay is a sin.
Can you
So
tell me
that's what I
what verse you're
believe.
referencing when you say that?
Leviticus 18:22.
Do you hold to Leviticus 18:19 where it says that besides what we just went through with Leviticus 25, you said you need to research that. That's fine. Do you hold to Leviticus 18:19, where it says that you can't have sex with a woman on her period because she's unclean?
Where it says what?
It says you can't have sex with a woman on her period because she's unclean. It's immoral for you to have sex with a
I
woman
don't
on her period.
understand why you guys keep moving from the points that I'm bringing up.
Because you're bringing up the book of Leviticus.
You asked me.
The book
yeah,
of
but
Leviticus
you
is
said,
an insane place to
she
get your
said
ethics from. It's literally crazy.
She
Can you
said,
just answer? It's pretty
she
simple,
said
bud.
to
Answer the
bring
question.
up a verse that talks
Well, this
about
isn't direct
being
sex. This
gay is wrong. I
yes,
brought it
and
up,
then
and
if
then you went to a completely different thing.
It's in the same
Well,
book. Either you accept the book or
I'm
you
not
reject
asking
it.
that. I'm going
Do
with
you
what you
accept the book
first
of
originally
Leviticus or do you
asked.
not? You want to appeal to the book of Leviticus until it makes you look like an asshole.
So
And
if
then
you
you don't
say
want
something
it
like,
anymore.
I hold to the moral ethics of Leviticus, and then we point out 2 verses in which all
No,
of a
you
sudden you're
switched the
squandering.
topic because I brought a verse
No,
up.
actually, I'm right on sexual
Why
ethics.
didn't you stay to it?
I'm actually
Why
right
didn't
on
you stay
sexual
to what I
ethics.
brought up?
We
Fine,
are.
we can talk about Leviticus 18:22 or 2013.
Okay, let's talk about that then.
Okay,
Let's stop
okay. So
changing
Leviticus,
it.
then Leviticus 18:22 and 2013 are not going to be good representations of homosexuality as a definition, and or how we would ever represent. I'm going to tell you if you let me finish.
Okay.
Because we would never define homosexuality as just a sexual act. Homosexuality is persistent attract.
It says, you shall not lie with a male as
didn't know.
with a
I
woman.
didn't.
It is a abomination.
Didn't know I was done talking.
Yeah, but you said it doesn't.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Nope. Try listening again. Try listening again.
So what'd you say?
I said we would never use it as a definition for how we would define homosexuality because homosexuality is a persistent attraction, sexual and romantic, towards the same gender, right? So if it's a sexual and romantic attraction towards the same gender, if we're only talking about sex acts, then even a man getting raped in Leviticus would be doing an abomination and should be punished up to death. So that's why that vague understanding of what Moses is saying in Leviticus makes no sense.
That's cool. I don't really care if it doesn't make sense to you.
Well, do you think that people that are getting raped by another man should be punished?
If they're being raped by another man,
yeah,
that's
both.
a sin.
The man who's raping them and the person
getting
who's getting
raped by a man is a sin?
It is.
The person getting raped commits a sin.
If they're raping another person.
No, if they're getting raped.
If they're getting raped? No, that's not a sin. They were forced into something.
Okay, so listen again. If I'm saying Leviticus 18:22 and 2013 are only talking about men having sex with other men as they would with women, right? So if they're saying that, let's say it's a great.
He's so confused.
Why are you saying it's
We're
graping?
literally talking about the same verse. Oh,
yeah, but
gosh.
why are you saying it's graping?
He can only comprehend like
that verse is not.
He can keep like
graping.
2 things in his head at a time. Like I wish I had like the fucking like Lincoln Logs, such that I could give you like some sort of like visual representation.
Where are you getting
I suppose I could like jingle my fucking keys for you. Maybe that'll help your attention.
Don't worry, bro.
What AG is arguing is that an implication of the very verse that you're citing is that you would put rape victims to death.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna just tell you this, bro. Tomorrow's not promised, and one day you gotta go. So I hope you're ready.
I am.
So but stick with your beliefs if you want to, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
So
and you should stick with your beliefs if you're unable to cope with reality.
No, we'll see. I'm gonna pray for you though, because I do want you to see Christ.
And listen, bud, I'll think for you because I want you to come to the truth.
No, it's cool, bro. It's cool. It's cool. But I'm gonna pray for you and
and I'll think for you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But eternity's forever. So I'll see y'all in the afterlife.
Okay.
See ya.
Yep. Later. I like the implication that he'll see us in the afterlife, that, he's going to be there with us in hell.
Exactly.
Goat. Yeah. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you do think that there's something wrong with being gay, as we read the very next super chat. Thanks for all you do. I was raped in my church. My pastor blamed my gay spirit, banned me, said I needed an exorcism. I'm autistic. Please keep speaking out. That's like I'm sorry to hear that. That's like a horrible thing to happen to you. Yeah, I don't know. And also like the lack of support is also like super fucked up. I'd like to think that, I don't know. I'd like to think that the majority of Christians aren't like horrible fucking people that would not offer support to somebody who's obviously in need. that's such a horrible situation, dude. All right, let's go to the next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, there might be a bit of. Okay, no, that's totally fine. Yep. And do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think's wrong with being gay? Oh, also, that sounds like there's like a bit of an echo. Do you have headphones?
No, I just cleared out my other apps from my phone. I don't know if that helped or not.
Well, let's see. We'll see. No, it
Okay.
doesn't seem to have.
Wait, would it be better if I plugged in headphones or?
Yeah.
Let me connect my AirPod.
You might be covering the bottom of your phone. Like if your hand is holding like your speakers at the bottom, it might be causing an echo.
All right. Do I sound any better?
Let's see. Let's see. Yep, totally fine. Yeah,
All right.
perfect. Yeah. So, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 23.
And do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I heard you guys saying I was in here for like a little minute. You were trying to like use the Bible to because you know, you guys were quoting the Bible talking if it says, you know, to lie with another man, you know, that's a sin. And then you were like,
Mhm.
oh, well, if a man is, you know, raped, he's doing that sin. So according to the Bible,
Mhm.
receiving a graping would be a sin. But I mean that I don't think that makes sense because
We agree.
if you're gonna have so if you have a book of, I don't want to say rules or just kind of ideals and just kind of life things to go by, you know, like the Bible has things like if it says you should not do this, and then somebody comes along and just makes you do it, and like you said, oh, if somebody got raped, that makes that man the, you know, sinning. No, not at all. I mean, if you're forced into something that you want nothing to do with, if you have no choice, how is that sinning? Yeah,
That's
if you
a
kind of
really
see what I'm
great
saying.
question and like, you know, a really great point. But God forces people to do stuff that they don't want to do, like literally all the time. For example, in Deuteronomy 22:28-29, God says that if you get raped, that you should be forced to marry your rapist if you're, you know, a woman who's a virgin. The verse is, if a man meets a virgin who is not engaged and seizes her and lies with her, and they are discovered, the man who lay with her shall give her 50 shekels of silver. Sorry, not her. He doesn't give this to her. The man who lay with her shall give 50 shekels of silver to the young woman's father, and she shall become his wife. Because he violated her, he shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives.
Okay, yeah, that's something that is a possible scenario. Like, say a man grapes a you know, somebody does something, right? So he has to come to terms with that. Like what he just did, is horrendous, you know, terrible. There's no making up for that or whatnot. But worse coming to worse, you're not just gonna. I don't know if this word's bad. You know, when you unalive an unborn, it's not born. I don't know what to
Yeah,
say
you
for
can
that
say
word. If
abortion.
that's
I don't care. I don't care if you
okay.
censor
So
yourself or don't. Just don't say slurs.
okay. So if an abortion were to happen, that's even okay. So all sins are equal, whether it be being gay, whether it be murder. All sins are similarly equal, I'd say.
Well, that's what you just
A
said is
sin
like an
is a
obvious
sin.
absurdity. You think being gay is as bad as like murdering someone?
Let me backtrack. No,
Okay.
you're right there. So no, but it's so a sin is a sin. I mean, a big or small sin, that sin is a sin. So
But that's not even
if
true biblically.
somebody grapes a woman, at least they could raise that child, at least go on with that life. There's no, oh, you just did a very horrendous act and now you're just gonna unalive that baby as well. You, I mean, if somebody's gonna do that horrendous act and then they, you know, come to wits or whatever with the father and they at least do whatever, you know, at least keep that baby alive instead of, you know, doing worser things. This is
So
beyond the point. This is beyond the point, but just to
I don't want to get
talk
well,
about
I
your
mean,
point of
you know, I'm pro-choice, so I don't find that to be very compelling, but I mean, okay. Specifically, do you think that the punishment for getting like if you're a rape victim, do you think you should be forced to marry your rapist?
No.
Okay, but God says that you should.
Okay. I mean, who's to say the value and the exact terms of marriage has changed in the last 2,000, 3,000 years? You know what I'm saying? Marriage now is a governmental thing. You have to go through it's not about love and stuff. And we got to go through the government. We got to sign this paperwork. It's not about love and stuff like it was back in the day. Marriage is something completely different. Whether you look at marriage, things have changed so much. It's
But do you think like at the time that this was right? Like, do you think that it was right to force rape victims to marry their rapists?
and what did it mean to marry
Like you enter into like a relationship
4,000
with
years
them,
ago?
you know, um you can't like sleep with people other than that.
It's not the most ideal, but if it's the best scenario for after the horrendous acts that just happened and it could be moved on,
But it's like obviously
I
not,
mean,
right?
shouldn't,
Like there was like a horrible act of violence committed against the wife.
or just, yeah, just the random girl for that matter. But I mean, yeah, you can go about the things that might not seem 100% in your, terms, or like, the way you would do it in the Bible, but you also can't ignore the hundreds and hundreds of cross references and just the indefinite proof
Mhm.
of the Bible as well. So you can, you can bring up the ups, you can bring up the downs, but maybe let's go back to if there's a problem with being gay before we
Yeah, but
go
I
too
looked at
far.
the sexual ethics that are put forward in the Bible, things like the verse that we just talked about. It just seems like across the board, the Bible has like pretty unbelievably bad sexual ethics.
Also, if we talk about the time period, I mean, they literally have sex omens in that same time period where you'd lose your personal God if a woman topped you. You'd be inflicted with some sort of illness if a woman topped you. So if they like were writing in this time period, besides what the Bible says too, why would we take what the sexual ethics say seriously? Also, if you
I'm
leave
not
me
sure
up,
what
we
you,
can't hear
I'm
you.
not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean by they were topped. You said they were topped.
Yeah, if a woman takes a top position in sex.
Oh, okay, you're still referring to sex. Okay, I was thinking like just a whole different term. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, cool. So why, all right, so what is wrong with being gay? Um, I mean, so being gay was a mental illness up until what was it, like the 60s or 70s
Yeah,
or 50s maybe?
do you know why they discontinued being gay as a mental illness?
Why?
It's because in order for something to qualify as a mental illness, it needs to significantly interfere with your life. It needs to have like negative, harmful effects towards you and towards the
And
people around
being
you.
gay does.
It
Being
doesn't.
gay
Can you give an
100% does.
example?
Yeah, so it affects you because if you're gay, you're never gonna have that family. You're never gonna be able to continue your bloodline. You might as well just call it quits to your bloodline and say bye to your family right now.
Do you think it's a mental illness to be like sterile? Or do you think it's like a
To
mental
be
illness to
sterile?
like marry someone who is sterile?
No, because that's not choice. That's like, is it a mental illness to only be 5'5"? No, that's just what you were
But I'm
given.
asking you, like, let's say I was marrying, I made the choice to marry someone who I know is infertile. Say that they have like, I don't know, severe PCOS, such that they can't have kids. Do you think it would be immoral for me to do that if I like really loved the person?
Would it be immoral to do what exactly?
Yeah, would it be so? Let's say I found out that my girlfriend, who I wanted to marry, is totally infertile. She'll never bear me children. And then I continue to choose to want to marry her. Do you think I would have, do you think that would qualify as like a mental illness?
No, because that's not your same kind. That's not like a male on male or a female on female. Yeah, there's instances or unfortunate events that maybe the few select, you know, people that are taking the correct option might not be able to, procreate, but
So
that's
then we
not a
just
mental
have,
illness if you're just unable. A perfectly gay person is not just incapable of having kids. It's they're making
no, no,
that
no.
wrong
But
choice.
in this scenario, you are capable of having kids. You're fertile, but your partner isn't, and then you choose to marry them. You could make a choice where you could have kids with somebody else who's fertile. You know, in this scenario, you're fertile. You could go find somebody else who's fertile, and then you could have kids with them. But instead, you choose to start a relationship with a person who is infertile and then you marry them.
Yeah, so I know you're trying to bring up the argument, oh, those two guys go get, a random donor girl, or two girls go get a random donor guy, but that's not the point. If
I
there's
didn't
a
bring
guy
that
and a girl that
argument
come
up.
together.
You're not tracking.
Sorry, what?
You did not track what Ian just said.
Maybe an easier to understand scenario. Do you think it's wrong, or do you think it's like a
No, I
mental illness
understood.
it's like a slightly different scenario. Do you think it would be a mental illness if you're fertile and you're in a straight relationship, your partner is fertile, and then both of you just choose not to have kids?
Because I know you're gonna say, oh, it's two gay people, if they just choose not to have kids, it's same deal, but it's not. It's
What's the
male and
difference
female.
there? I understand that it's
because
male
there's
and female,
male
but why
and
is that
female
morally
can't-
relevant?
Because a male and male cannot reproduce. A female and female cannot reproduce. There's no gay animals because animals know we need to reproduce. We need to.
And a fertile
keep our
person, a
kind
fertile
going.
straight person, like a fertile man can't reproduce with an infertile woman.
Yeah, and
Does
what are
that
the
make it
chances of
what's
that?
for a fertile
What are
man
the
to
chances? So what
get
are the
into a
chances of
marriage
that?
with an infertile
That
woman?
has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with being
1
gay.
in 5 couples are infertile, by the way.
Okay, that has nothing to do with being gay.
It's directly
if they want to make the
analogous.
step, if they want to make this step and be like, all right, well, we're
The
two
issue
people
here
that
actually
want
is
to
just
have
that you
kids,
think being gay is a
but we
choice.
can't. Well, no, because if there's people that are as a man and a woman and they unfortunately cannot have kids, they can either come to terms and say, hey, maybe we should, get a third party in here and have a kid so we can, or you know what, we don't want to have kids.
What if they
We
don't
love each
care?
other enough to
Yeah.
let's just be, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
at
what's
least,
the
they
symmetry
can.
breaker
If there
there?
was only symmetry
Between
breaker there is because
Yeah.
if every single person was gay, there would be nothing. There would be no procreation at all.
If
That's
every
not
single
true.
person was a
But
doctor, then
if
we would
there
all
was-
starve to death. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with being a doctor.
No, it's not. If every person was a bank robber, then we'd be fucked. Like, and there you go.
But there is
Same as
something
if every
wrong with
person
being
was
a
a
bank
rapist.
robber. You're stealing.
There's something being wrong with being gay. You can't do anything.
Okay,
You're
do you think there's something
effeminate
wrong with
weirdo.
being a
You have
doctor?
no backbone. You have no backbone. You're just
Okay.
like a weak man.
Okay,
You're a
do you think
weak
there's
man
something
that
wrong with being a
is a
doctor?
weirdo.
Okay, that's
No,
great.
let's hear this argument.
These were like
Let's hear
excellent
this argument.
emotes. Yeah, under your standard, you're saying that something is wrong
Nobody's
in
dancing.
virtue of
Nobody's
if everyone
dancing.
did it, then we would all die, or humans wouldn't continue. But by this standard, you'd have to say that being a doctor is bad, because if
No.
every single person was a doctor, then there would be no farmers. Nobody would grow the
No,
food. We'd all
that's a
starve to
profession.
death.
Are you confused, buddy? That's a profession, not a sexuality.
Wait, sorry, what's going to
Get
be?
it-
Yeah,
get it
exactly.
right.
Wait, so then to be
Get it
clear,
right.
you agree that your standard fails.
Because I'll still prove you wrong again. Bring up whatever you want.
Okay,
Sure.
sure. So then, to be clear,
everybody was a
I know that
soccer
you're trying to
player,
like
all we'd
hand
be
wave
able
it
to do was
away,
kick
but your
balls around the
standard is
field.
specifically
It's
like
like, what?
universalizing it and seeing whether or not universalizing it ends the human race. Is that not your
Break
standard?
it down. No,
Yeah,
because
you're
like,
saying
if everybody
if
was a
doing
soccer
something,
player, then all we would
if
do was
everyone
kick
was
balls. It's like,
X,
bro, what?
then the human race dies off, then X would be wrong. Is that not your argument?
Oh, this
Your
X, I want to hear
argument
like
was
a
that
clear.
if everyone was
Give me a
gay,
clear statement.
yeah, your statement is that if everyone was gay, then the human race would die off. So being gay is wrong. But we can substitute gay in for a number of other categories where this is just clearly false. If everyone was a
Alright, and let me tell you how
doctor,
you're
then
wrong.
everyone would die
Go for it.
off.
Let me tell you how you're wrong.
So being a
How?
doctor is
How?
wrong. If everyone was
How?
a software engineer,
How?
because there wouldn't be any food.
So how?
There wouldn't be any
all
food.
around.
We'd all starve to death.
Deer, cows.
We don't
You
have
think
enough
the
food. In
first-
order to sustain the population of humans that we currently
Your
have,
argument.
you would need people to go into the woods and hunt and gather.
What do you think the first people did on the earth? Do you think they just stood around?
They hunted
said,
and they
"What do we do?"
gathered. You think doctors know how to hunt
Exactly.
and gather? I think they'd be
That's a
quite
profession.
confused, the vast
That's a
majority of
profession.
them.
You're looking. So let me.
Yeah,
talk.
that means
You're
that they have
looking at-
more responsibility for it, not less. When something is
So
a
let me
choice
talk.
that you make, you're actually more morally culpable for it, which means that under your standard, you would have to think that there's something worse about being a doctor than there is about being gay.
So let me talk. You're talking about the first people, they were hunters. They had to. Well, let's look at it in a doctor perspective. There was no doctors back then. There was no gays back then. People just
That's
got
not
it. They just
true.
did what they needed to do. They just did what they needed to do.
That's not true. There were
So
gay people
why are there
throughout all
no
of
gay
history.
animals? Why are there no
There
gay
are.
animals?
There are
1,500 different species.
like bonobos.
Is it-
Bonobos
what-
are almost universally bisexual.
You want to get into like some scientists? Like, a seahorse, the male gives.
Bonobos
not what we
are
said.
one of
Some
our closest
some random
relatives.
shit like that.
I don't know if you're aware of that. I think it's either like chimpanzees and then bonobos, or like bonobos and then chimpanzees in terms of the animals that we share the most DNA with. Like they're like one of our closest relatives.
And they have there's no scientific
They're also
proof of like being
matriarchal.
evolution to that at all. But either way, you want to bring up
Just
the
look
point
it
of
up.
if everybody
Are
was a doctor, it'd be
bonobos bisexual? Yes, bonobos are considered naturally bisexual and exhibit both heterosexual and homosexual behavior frequently. Same-sex sexual activity is common in both males and females.
So you want to concede the no animals are gay?
I really don't think animals can be gay. I mean,
You don't think so? You
no, I
think
mean you can
Fizz.org
get
is
on these
just
modern
lying?
face.org. They said
Fizz.
bisexual. There might be like I mean, I've raised dogs before, right? You know, a male dog gets that female scent on him, and that other boy dog will hop up on him, try to fuck him. You know what I'm saying? But he's not gay. He just gets that scent and shit. A human knows. A human knows right from wrong. A human knows the point of sex, the point of love, the point of all that is to
Wow.
further
That
on the
certainly is like
generation.
presupposing like teleology. I don't know why I would grant that there's like a purpose. I think sex has a lot of functions. I don't know if I'd say that it has like a purpose.
You don't think sex has a purpose? You don't think
I
a
think it has
life
lots
can
of
come from
functions. You
sex?
can use it. Oh, certainly it has that function. It has the function of producing children. It has the function of generating pleasure. It has the function of, making you close with your partner.
How many days out of the month can a woman get pregnant in a
How many
cycle?
days under the month can a woman get pregnant? Depends.
In a
Is she
cycle?
just been pregnant? Is
No,
she
in a
just got
cycle.
done being pregnant?
No.
No, over the course of the month.
Did you say no? I'm sorry. What did you say about intercourse in a month? In either way,
No,
I
I said
don't know how to
how
answer
many
that
days in
question.
a cycle
No, not
can a
you.
woman get pregnant in a 30-day period?
Yeah, I heard you, and then he said something about something I don't remember, but I don't know how many days a woman can get pregnant. I'm not sure.
But you're going to claim
I've
there's a
never.
purpose there, but you don't even know how many times a woman can
Yeah.
get pregnant out of the month?
So you're gonna ask me a very, very fractional question that means nothing, and then that
It actually
determines
does mean something.
that
Your
I
whole
that I
argument
have
hinges upon
no value over
reproduction, yet you
anything.
don't know how many times a woman can get pregnant out of the entire month.
What does that matter when the fact is she can get
Because you
pregnant?
should probably try in the time period in which she can get pregnant, which is going to be 1 to 7 days. But if you claim a purpose, right, but the majority of the time out of the year she can't get pregnant, I'm going to take it that there's no purpose. It's a very low function that the reproductive anatomy has in comparison to like dogs where they have like litters, right, or cats, they have litters of animals, whereas like
Okay,
humans
cool.
can give birth to like 1 to 4 children out of the entire year, and 4, you're really risking your life there. So when you say that the purpose is reproduction, I would say that doesn't really make any sense considering our reproductive anatomy and the way that humans reproduce. So I would say the function is more so the ones that get used the most, which is bonding and what's the other one? Pleasure.
So you're saying the main function, they can only be done
Main function.
like let's say 25%,
I would say the most used
25% of the month.
functions. Well, the most used functions would be pleasure and bonding. But it obviously isn't going to be the case that the main function would be to have a child if the majority of the month you can't get pregnant.
All right, well, the main function of a furnace is to, provide heat. But if you're in the damn hot ass summer, you're not going to use it. So, same shit. You want to use all these analogies. Oh, well, this corrects your point because I have an analogy.
Well,
All right, well, a
that's our
furnace is
exact
used.
point, is that there's nothing wrong with
A
not
furnace
using your
is
furnace for
used.
that. If you wanted to use your furnace as a
But
table,
the
there would
main
be
point of a
nothing
furnace,
wrong
the
with
main
that.
point of a furnace,
Do you think
the
it's
main point
wrong
of a
to use your
furnace, though,
furnace
is
as a
to
table?
provide heat.
Would it be wrong to
The
use it
main
as a
point of a furnace
table?
is to provide heat.
Would it
Is
be
the main
wrong?
point of a furnace
Would
to
it be,
provide heat?
yeah, the main purpose of a furnace typically used is to provide
Okay.
heat. Is
The
it wrong? Is
main
it then wrong
point
to use
of
it
a
as a
male and
table?
female
Oh, he's not
sexual
going to answer that
activity is
question because
for
it like
product.
fillets his
Because you
point.
won't answer mine.
Obviously, it's not
It
wrong.
doesn't.
Wait, sorry,
It
name one
doesn't.
question
It
that
doesn't
you've
fillet
asked
my
that I
point.
haven't answered. You made a claim just now that I haven't answered your question. Name one question I haven't answered. Brutal. Spawn killed. Okay. Back to my question.
Ask it
Do
again.
you think
Ask
it's
it again. I
wrong?
just told you.
Yeah.
I just told you the main point of a furnace is to provide heat. The main point of a woman and a man
Okay.
having
Do you
sex
want
is to
to
provide
answer the
children.
question?
All right. What is it?
Yeah.
Can you use a furnace for a table? Yeah, you can use a woman as a damn fucking rug on the ground. Are you gonna do it?
Do you think
No.
that it's
It's like
wrong
make
to
it make
use?
sense.
Do you think it's wrong to
Make
use
it
your
make sense.
furnace? Yes. Do you think just answer the question? Do you think it's wrong to use your furnace as a table?
No. Do you think it's wrong to use a
Okay.
woman as a doormat?
I mean,
Is it wrong to use a
unconsensually, yeah. I don't think that you can
So what's your
unconsensually
point?
do
I
that
mean,
to a person.
I can ask you, you can ask me. It's like
Okay.
we're not getting
Then we have
anywhere.
that's my exact point, is that it's not wrong to use something for a different function that it serves. That's not a wrong maker, that the wrong maker would have to be something else. The wrong maker in like the using a woman as a rug scenario is specifically that it's a violation of autonomy, if indeed it's being done
Yeah,
unconsensually.
but your small point doesn't overcome the main fact of a woman and men's sexual intercourse. Your little point of, well, they can do it, they can use a condom, so it really means nothing. It's like that's defeating the purpose. That's defeating the purpose. The purpose for sex was to create.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
under
have
this
sex for other
criteria, you'd have to
reasons.
say that it's
You
so.
can have
So
sex
here's
for
a
other
list of.
reasons,
Whoa,
but I
sorry.
mean,
Here's a list of things that you're going to be
see,
committed to saying are wrong. You're going to be committed to saying that it's wrong to get, a blowjob, a hand job. It's going to be wrong to have like period sex. It's going to be wrong to use a condom. It's going to be wrong to use birth control. You're going to be committed to saying that
Also,
all
for a
of those
woman to
things are
come,
wrong.
considering it doesn't end in reproduction.
Yeah, true. It's wrong to pull out. It's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong to use literally any birth control. You're really going to sit here and tell me that pegging is wrong? Be fucking
Or
serious.
you're straight, so it's wrong to eat out your girlfriend.
wait, did you just say so you're wanting me to say pegging is wrong, or like
You're really
what was your
gonna
claim
sit
on pegging?
here. You're really gonna sit here and affirm like P and not P contradictions, like pegging is wrong.
Okay, so pegging the girl or pegging the man?
No, getting pegged by your girl. You think that there's something wrong with that? You think that
That's
there's?
crazy.
I can't believe you'd say something that's so obviously absurd.
What? So you think getting pegged by your girl's okay?
Yeah,
You've been pegged by your
more
girl?
than
You've
okay.
been
It's like
pegged.
spiritual.
You've
It's
been
like
pegged by your girl.
insightful. Yeah, it's like a life-changing experience. In fact,
So
I'm
you've been
on the
pegged by your
fence about
girl.
whether or not it's like morally obligatory, whether or not you have an obligation, not just to yourself, not just to your girlfriend,
Hold
but also
on.
to God himself
Hold on.
to get pegged by your girl.
Hold on, wait. So let's not run by that. You've been pegged by your girl?
Not actually, bud. We do a bit of trolling here.
But hold on, wait. No, let's not try to get all quiet and be like, well, maybe I take it
Yeah,
back.
I had to say the
Come on
quiet part
now.
out loud because you're like too stupid apparently.
Too stupid apparently, but you're the
You're
one
not
that
able
thinks
to pick
getting
up on
pegged by
like
your girl's
obvious
okay.
subtext.
You're
I
the
do.
one talking
I
about
do think
getting
it's
pegged.
okay. Yeah, I've never been pegged, but I think it's
Do you
like
have
fine.
a
Calling me a
reputation?
Like, I don't
dumbass.
care.
Calling me a dumbass.
Do you have
Damn.
do you have a reputation?
Solid counter argument, by the way.
Well,
You
you
brought up
think
getting
you
pegged.
think pegging's
wrong?
bad? That's my reputation.
What's wrong with getting pegged?
You just literally brought up getting pegged, bro.
Yeah. What's wrong
That's
with
not an
that?
argument. Yeah, that's not a refutation. What's the
Wrong with it?
refutation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, reputation. What's the
Yeah.
question about
What's
reputation?
wrong with getting pegged?
And then what did the girl say?
It's
with
the same thing. I'm asking you why it's wrong.
Is the anus exit or an entry?
I don't even know
Both.
what that question's asking. Yeah, both.
Both.
It's a hole. You can go either way.
Yeah, I mean the prostate back there literally is a pleasure spot. Therefore, it would obviously entail that there's use for a pleasure spot back there. If you want to.
Why is there like wet sounds?
I just opened a Jolly Rancher.
Okay.
I know it sounds like you getting pegged in the ass, but it's just a Jolly Rancher, bro.
Yeah, like a little bit, right? Like it
Don't get
sounds
excited.
like some fucking
Don't
like
get too excited.
lubricated friction going on.
Ooh.
Do you think it's immoral to eat out your girlfriend?
Immoral to eat out your girlfriend. Is this a trap question?
No, it's a leading question.
The answer is obvious. It's a reductio.
Is it more than? I mean, it's probably wrong. It's probably wrong.
Yeah,
It's
I bet it
wrong
probably
to
is
eat out
wrong when
your
you do it.
girlfriend.
Dude has no fucking idea where he's supposed to be.
Look at you, bro. You literally you're like a stone face, bro. You got no personality.
Thanks. You got
Ian's
quite a bit of
fucking hilarious,
personality.
bro. Just
Look like you haven't seen a pussy since the day you've been out one. So
Yeah,
that's
except for like a couple of days ago. Yeah, I'm in like a
I mean, I've
long-term
been in a relationship for
relationship.
4 years again.
Okay.
But you've
Let's
never
hear it.
eaten her
Yeah,
out
it's
because you think
looked
it's
it up.
immoral. That's sad. She's
Yeah.
never
No, I never
orgasmed
have.
the entire relationship, and that's why she's gonna, that's why she talks shit about you to all of her like friends.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the group chat has heard about this guy, let me tell you.
For real. They know your
The
full name.
group chat's flaming your ass because look at you, been spinning that pen for a damn hour straight because you're just so fidgety with your gay ass.
Oh,
Gay
I'm
is
not
right.
gay, but I understand how you'd come away
you
with the
deserve to
impression
get
that I'm
paid.
gay, the way that I've been blowing your fucking back out in this debate this entire time. What's one point that you think you've made that you've done well on? Because from my recollection, you've gotten
Point that you've
slammed
made
and
that
beaten
you've
the
made.
fuck down every single time you tried to pipe the fuck up.
So bring one term that's happened.
Bring
one time that's happened.
Oh, he's like short-circuiting, dude. Holy shit.
That's the second time you've used that on somebody. Like, get up your own references, man. Get your references up.
It's funny every single time.
So what's one point that you've made that I have not countered your ass into the ground?
Yeah, you've been totally incapable of actually finding the symmetry breaker between people who are infertile, like a fertile man fucking an infertile woman, and a gay couple. You've been incapable of identifying the symmetry breaker. What's the symmetry breaker there? The morally relevant symmetry breaker.
One's morally right, one's morally incorrect.
Oh
and
gosh,
the one
yeah,
right,
it's just wrong because it's wrong. That's circular. You're an idiot.
I'm gonna talk over you because I'm such an idiot. I'm just gonna talk over you.
Do you think circular arguments are valid?
You tell me.
No. You need to give some sort of justification for why it's wrong. What about it is wrong?
And I did. I told you, like, you can't reproduce if you're gay. Like,
you think that's a symmetry breaker between the case of a fertile man fucking an infertile woman and two gay people? You think that that's a difference between these two things?
Nope.
Yeah, what's the symmetry breaker between them? I already
told you.
Yeah, what's the symmetry breaker?
Being straight and being with an infertile woman, you can't do anything about that. You can just sustain
your love. You can't do anything about being gay.
Yeah, you can.
Like what?
No,
oh, come on.
So you said this earlier, actually, Peanut. Hold
Being
on.
gay is a mental disability. It's been
what's the argument?
DSM stand for?
More and more common. Like,
Peanut, what does DSM stand for?
Are you saying TSM?
DSM. Don't look it up.
I don't know.
You don't know, but you don't know. So you're gonna call it a mental illness, but you don't know where we would classify mental illnesses or mental disorders.
I mean, like I said, you can get.
I think maybe you're not the one to talk about those, considering you can't tell me what Diagnostic Statistical Manual stands for, and that's where we would put it. And we're on the 5th one, by the way. We're not on the 3rd one anymore.
Look at you can just take any person with any brain and just like, it's just simple shit. Just because you don't know these nitty gritty like acronyms, just because you don't know acronyms and shit. Like,
isn't it so fun to do moral reasoning if you're like a 30 IQ Neanderthal? Guys, it's just wrong because it's wrong.
He's a rock clacker.
Yeah.
So, Peanut.
I mean, if you're just too dumb to understand the points I've already brought up.
Your point is literally it's wrong because it's wrong. That's circular.
Well,
I just told you, like, if you can't reproduce, there's the chances of somebody being infertile on an actual real like sex, and there's a 0% chance sex is going to go anywhere with two of the same gender. Sex can go
same thing with
very
an infertile
far
woman.
with two opposite genders. Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
That's the rare chances.
Oh no! Wait, what if the person is literally missing like a uterus?
Male on. Okay, then there you go. It's still.
Is there? Do you think there's what percent chance do you think there is to form a child with a woman who's missing her uterus? You putting that above 0?
What are the chances of a guy and a guy?
Yeah, 0. Same.
All right then.
So then you agree that it's both 0. You're literally dunking on yourself.
How? You're missing my point. You're so like weird. You're so like weird. You're missing.
I think you're missing my point. Do you want to go ahead and steelman my argument? I can explain back to you what your point is, and then I can explain to you in detail how my point eviscerates your point.
So a male with a woman that can't have kids, it's 0%. That's 0% still. But out of all the
so why is one right and one wrong?
Happening, so let me just finish. Like,
yeah, I just want to know why one is right and one is wrong.
Because one, procreation can come from, and if
you just said it's a 0% chance.
You're in the print. Are you dumb? Are you gonna let me finish?
You just said it's you think that you can get a child if there's a 0% chance of you getting a child?
Never said that. If you just let me finish, like I said, but if not, then just whatever. Like, if you're gonna let somebody finish, like, let him. If
Gosh,
not,
you know, I
man,
bet your
more
girlfriend
annoying
has
as
been
hell.
begging you for that very thing.
Oh,
It was
look at
funny,
your
thank
corny ass,
you.
man. You ain't seen a pussy since the day you came out, man, bro. Look
Nuh-uh,
at you.
you already used that line. You're short-circuiting.
Look at you.
I've slammed
Look
you at
at
light
you.
speed. That's why you're still stuck in like 10 minutes ago. No, do your cuck laugh again. Do your like little like Ronald McDonald cuck laugh again. That's the sound he makes every time he gets his back blown out. Make the sound again, cuck.
Oh, you got that one down. You got that one down, don't you?
Yeah.
Your boyfriend's got his fucking fist deep in your asshole,
No.
doesn't he, buddy?
I'll have you know that I have a girlfriend.
What's his name?
Oh, I'm not gonna share that.
What's his
I don't know
name?
why I would
Fucking
dox my
Tyrone, buddy?
girlfriend. Yeah, why am I gonna why would I dox my girlfriend to you?
Your trainee Tyrone girlfriend, buddy?
Damn.
So here.
Yeah, there's the resorting of slurs. You got blown the fuck out. You got beat the fuck up on every single
You're telling
topic.
it's
You
a
know,
slur
there's
right
a
there.
reason why
It's a
every
slur
single
right there.
person
You're
is
telling me
making
I'm
fun
getting
of
my
you and
back
nobody
blown out by all
respects
these
you. Wait, you
points, but
think
there's nobody
saying
even.
getting your back blown out is a slur? Buddy,
Well, I
I
just told
almost
you your
just called
girlfriend's a
you a slur
tranny. How's
now
that a slur?
based on how fucking stupid that was. That was like
All right, I
absurdly
just said
stupid.
I
Do
said
you
your
think
girlfriend's
saying that
Tyrone.
you're
She's a
getting your
tranny. How's
back
that a
blown out
slur?
is a
How's that a
slur?
slur?
It's the T slur.
I was
Look it
saying your
up.
girlfriend's a tranny a slur.
Okay.
Oh, so
Yeah, he's just spamming slurs at this point. All right, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you are 18 or older. Make sure that you believe that there is something wrong with being gay. Yeah, he's slurring on cooldown. Truly. I don't know. Oh,
Most of that argument boils down to he thinks that being gay is a choice, and it's so obnoxious because it's like,
true.
okay, when you make them like look it up, and then they'll concede that it's not a choice, but they'll still be like, you still can't reproduce. It's like, okay, well, we're just gonna go in circles and like fucking chase our tail then, because at the end of the day, you special plead for heterosexual couples, but gay people, wrong.
Yeah, seriously. Relax with Russell ASMR. Thanks so much for the super chat. If you needed Jesus to quit substance abuse, I'm glad it worked for you. But I'm an AA in recovery as an atheist, big dog. Yeah, I mean, I'm like glad that it works for you. Okay, here's my stance on it. I don't think that I'm not like the type of atheist to say that nobody ever gets any value out of religion. I think that in fact, a lot of people, especially in a lot of circumstances, like being like, you know, a recovering addict, they probably do get a tremendous amount of value, an amount of value that they can get from basically nowhere else. It's extremely accessible. There's a church everywhere. There's like a community. It's like a good place to maybe like get back on your feet, but ultimately it's a cope. You know, it's not true. I think that's probably permissible to stabilize your life by getting into a religion. I don't think that it's permissible after your life is stabilized to stay in there. I think that you should be trying to believe true things, and you know, it's a false thing. Oh, sorry. Helping Maggot Deconstruct. Thanks so much for the 10 memberships. Appreciate you. Big W. Dank Bird Gang. Thanks so much for the super chat. Elton John and his partner used their DNA with a surrogate and have 2 kids from it. Okay. That's pretty cool, actually. Master Neo, thanks so much for the super chat. For anyone who disagrees with the prompt, I recommend watching Love Is All You Need? Question mark? I don't know what that means. I've never seen it. Maybe it's a good rec. Thanks so much for the super chat. Axel Asarin, thanks so much for the super chat. Let me get in here next into Debate Pro. Okay. Are you there? Which one are you? You might need to specify that. I'm looking for an Axel. We'll never find him. Okay. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you think that there is something wrong about being gay. And that will go to the very next guest. Nope. That person didn't join. Hey, how's it going?
Hi,
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Yep. And do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
I actually I do.
Okay. What do you think is wrong with being gay?
I think like there's like some sort of like mental issue.
What's the mental
I
issue?
well like you can tell like gay people are like more awkward and stuff like that. Like I think there's like
A lot of gay people are like really outgoing.
yeah, but they're also like kind of awkward and weird and
That's
and
true of a lot of
like
straight people.
yeah, but that those straight people have mental issues that are weird and
Okay.
That's
awkward.
not always the case. It can come from bullying.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
And we know gay people are statistically more likely to be bullied in school, which would mean that they're just a little bit more socially maybe standoffish and or awkward. But that's
Do you think
doesn't
that there's
lead to
something
some sort
wrong
of
with being like socially awkward?
yeah, I do.
Oh, what's the argument for that?
Well, people shouldn't be socially awkward. I don't know.
I understand that that's your conclusion, but why?
Ian, we're fucked.
Yeah, seriously, no kidding.
What do you mean why?
Yeah, like why is that immoral? I don't think I'd consider that to be like a moral
You
failing.
just don't want people to be awkward.
I think most people would prefer being like not awkward over being awkward, but I don't think that you've done
Exactly.
wrong by being awkward. You know, most people would prefer it if the women that they asked out on dates accepted, but I don't think that it follows from that fact that if you get like rejected when you ask someone out that you've done something wrong, like morally wrong.
I don't know. There's like something wrong, and like I think not just like gay people, but like transgender people. I feel like
Okay,
that.
we're talking about gay people right now. I don't know why you think I'd let you pivot.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
What sort of reason do you think a gay person has to not be gay?
Like I think like there's just like something mentally that comes into play. I don't know. Like
You got any evidence?
no, it's just like I feel it. Like
Okay.
when you're talking to a gay person, like they're just awkward.
Do you think maybe you
Might be a
should?
you thing.
Yeah, that's
It might
true.
be
It might be a
they
you
might
thing.
just not like you. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, every gay person I've ever talked to is super outgoing and super like funny and hilarious. Because
Yeah, me
sometimes
walking
trauma
up to the
makes you
gay
funny.
person, like, you know, why are you all so awkward? And then they all get weird, you know, when I ask them why they're all so awkward.
Well, I never say that.
Yeah, no, I know. But like clearly your dispositions are going to be thinking of them in like some sort of weird way.
Well, I'm actually like, I'm not like against like people being gay. I'm just like, I just think like there's something wrong with them.
But
I don't know.
what is it?
Does that make sense?
What is it? What's the wrong thing?
Like, it's kind of like having like an like autistic child or something like that. I don't know.
Do you think there's something wrong with being autistic?
I mean, you don't want your child to be autistic.
Speak for yourself.
You would want your child to be autistic.
Yeah, I want my child to go to like fucking Ivy League. Yeah, of course.
Autistic?
You know? Yeah, I'm gonna be locked the fuck in, dude. They'll be. I think it would be super cool.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
I don't think anyone would willingly want their child to be autistic.
I think you should speak for yourself, but I think that I don't see an issue with your child being autistic. If you just say like you don't want like a level 3 autistic child to suffer, I think we can all agree with that. But like, you know, say like I don't know, if they're not suffering, then I don't see the issue with wanting an autistic child.
I mean, it's just like you want your child to be like perfectly fine and okay, and I think like being gay is like.
Well, I just want society to
contribute to that.
Well, I would want society to just include autistic people in the way that they act, right? So I would want society to just be more inclusive.
But it doesn't mean that they're like 100% okay.
Well, we wouldn't suffer as much if society was more inclusive. If society understood, you know, autism and different disabilities, and also, you know, helped with that, then we wouldn't struggle as much.
Okay. And
most of my struggle, like if I'm by myself in my apartment, nothing is bothering me.
It's both.
But if I go outside, that's when things bother me. Sorry, what?
Oh no, he was trying to find some.
I thought this was like a viewer. I don't know.
No, this is my friend.
I didn't know you guys were doing this together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, an unlikely duo.
Well, are you gay?
No, I wouldn't identify that way.
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, I'm pro, like, human, right? And human beings should be like
brave.
100%. And I feel like being gay is kind of like, I don't know, like, it's a disadvantage.
In terms of what? Like, in terms of like a homophobic society? Like, I agree, you know, there's probably disadvantages to being gay because people will be cruel to you for no reason, but
There's definitely there's no advantage being gay.
I mean, yeah, I'd honestly, Josh, if I could be frank with you, I'd say that the only reason that that's true is because of people like you. You know, the only reason why disadvantages exist is because we have a society that perpetuates like anti-gay behaviors and ideas.
I'm not like actively like going against gay people.
Okay.
So.
He says to 600 people.
But you literally think that there's something wrong, but you can't even substantiate what that wrong thing is. You just go, well, it's like having autism. But
yeah,
I don't think having autism,
like,
but I don't think having autism is bad.
It's like a mental health issue, I think.
But it's not. And the I think is really important there because you think is true, right? Like you do just think, but your thoughts are wrong. So I think that's kind of
I'm not allowed
important.
to just think.
You
Like,
can think, but then we're telling you,
valid.
you know, just because you have thoughts doesn't mean that they're true.
Yeah, we're just telling you that it's what you said is not true. There's nothing wrong about being gay, and there's like no mental issue with being gay.
Yeah, it's like when the kid in the back of the classroom raises his hand and says 2 + 2 is 5. You know, that kid's wrong.
Well,
He certainly might think that, but it's wrong. You know, that's incorrect.
Exactly. And
yeah,
it's the same thing. Like,
glad we agree.
A kid thinks he's gay, but he's not.
Oh, sorry, but being gay isn't a choice.
No, but I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't grant that.
I think there is like some sort of like.
Wait, so Josh, wait. So what evidence do you have to substantiate the claim that there's a choice?
Like, I feel like you can just like have feelings for a woman or a man. I don't know.
Oh, choose to have feelings for a man right now.
Yeah. I think I could choose like date a guy.
You could? Yeah, you could make that choice?
Well, not date. Be romantically and sexually attracted to him. Anybody can choose to date somebody. That doesn't mean you have a romantic and or sexual attraction to them.
For example, like basically, no matter how hard I try, I don't think I could make myself feel sexually attracted to like a dude. I think if I were to picture myself having sex with a dude, I think I'd probably get like a disgust reaction.
Me too.
Okay. That's interesting. Well, I think that's like a normal reaction.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's normal for straight people to feel that way. And gay people feel the exact same way, but in reverse.
Yeah, because
like for a gay man, they'd get a disgust reaction from the idea of having sex with a woman. And as AG just said, you know, she would get a disgust reaction from having sex with a man.
I don't know. This is not normal. Like, what do you want me to say?
And by normal, do you mean like statistically normal? Like, what do you mean by normal?
Like just human ideology. I don't know. Like,
okay, sure. But I mean, under this logic, you would say, for example, that like democracy is wrong because it's not normal. You know, it's just a human ideology.
Well, I also think it's like a choice because like for example, like prison. Like if you're like in prison, like those guys aren't gay, but they will have sex with you. I don't know.
They don't. So you misunderstanding something. That's called power play. It's been used for all of history. But they don't have to grape you with their own penis. They can grape you with things around you. And it's typically to emasculate you. It's not actually for sexual pleasure. Men have been using grape as a power tool for all of like since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You're misunderstanding that.
Yeah, but those are like they're mentally like not all there.
Yeah, because they're rapists. Yeah, I agree. You know, rapists are not mentally all there. They're like despicable. So, but the wrong thing there, I mean, you know, do you think that this person would rather be raping like a man or a woman?
Well, all they have is man.
Yeah, exactly. But presumably for like a straight dude in prison who wants to rape someone, they'd much rather like rape a woman if given the opportunity, but this is all they have.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But like
grape doesn't discriminate. It's just who you're around. Grapists, grape.
I'm just having trouble. Like I don't think I truly do think it's a choice.
Okay.
Well, what's
yeah.
the empirical evidence behind that? Because I would say here, I'll just give you a simple thought experiment. Right, 1950s conversion therapy. They used to give you pharmacological waterboarding. They would castrate you for being queer, for being homosexual, and then they would use electroshock therapy for aversive conditioning in order to change you from being homosexual to heterosexual. How come that was completely condemned and it didn't work? It just upped unaliving ideations.
Because I feel like they just don't want to be straight, or they don't want to be
But
gay.
they had every incentive in the 1950s to be straight. In fact, that's why they would marry a man and be lavender marriages. And they both, like gay men and lesbian women, would marry each other to seem normal, right? So we had every
because they want to
incentive.
live in society, like. But
Yeah,
like,
they
I
had
feel
every
like
incentive to be straight, but it didn't work because you
they would
can't
just
change your
rather be
sexual
gay.
orientation. Your sexual orientation, there's no evidence to back what you're saying. Not even if we look at conversion therapy, there would be no incentive for them to not want to be straight. There would be every incentive for them to want to be straight.
Yeah, I mean, what would you make of the fact that there are literally gay people who will tell you that they wish that they were straight? How could that be?
Have people said that to you?
Well, for example,
I am one of them.
Mhm.
Like I can talk on my own personal testimony of that. I grew up in a very religious household, bro. Like I prayed. My mom literally wanted to send me to conversion therapy. That's my own testimony. So, but there's thousands.
Yeah, but you
of us.
wanted to be gay.
No, I didn't want to be gay. I wanted to be straight. Dude, I was celibate, dedicated for God for 2 years before I deconstructed, trying to not be gay. That's not true.
Yeah, there's lots of people just like that, especially in like a religious context where they kind of just have to adopt celibacy, because the religion says that you can't be gay, but it's who they are. They'd be straight if they could, but they can't because it's not a choice.
And that's also what the science says, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no science that backs the claim that it's a choice. That's like super outdated. Like, Josh, if you just go to your home screen and go to Safari and look up, is being gay a choice or is sexual orientation a choice? It's like overwhelming evidence beyond, like, it's already concluded it's not a choice.
Wait, what's the benefit? Like, what's wrong with like being a choice? Because I think
It's
being
false.
gay.
It doesn't have the advantage of
But
being
I think
true.
it's true though.
Well, okay, well, for one, I wouldn't.
But there's like
I wouldn't
nothing
really
wrong
care
with like
if it-
saying like, oh, like I'm gay because I chose to be gay. Like I don't think there's anything
No,
wrong with
I don't think that's the wrong maker. I just think that you should believe in true things. And when you spout off your entire point here is that it's a choice, I'm still going to correct you because you're walking around saying misinformation. And the right thing to do was to tell you that that's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, I could give you like some genetic evidence. So we can determine how like strongly genetic a trait is by comparing the rate that trait occurs in like identical twins that get adopted to different households to the rate that it occurs in non-identical twins that get adopted to different households, to comparing that to the rate of just normal adoptees to different households. And what we find is that I think it's like if your sibling is gay, if your identical twin brother is gay, there's a 65% chance that you will be gay, even if you're like adopted, separated to different households. But then if you go down to non-identical twins, these are twins, but they share the same womb, but they share only like 50% of the same genetics. Well, at that point, you have, I think, like a 35% chance of being gay if your sibling is gay. But then if you go down to like the general population, if somebody else is gay, that has literally no bearing on whether you'll be gay, there's still like a 2.5% chance. So how could you possibly explain like the descent there? Like, why is it that when you get further away from people genetically, there's like a lower connection to whether or not you'll be gay, even if you're raised in the exact or in like totally different environments?
I have like another point. That was actually really good.
Mhm.
What you just said there.
Okay.
Like, I think that's very interesting. But like, I still have one more point that I think why I think it's a choice. Like there's like just like so many more gay people like today than like 100 years ago, or like, and I understand like there's like reasons for that, which is like, oh, we're more accepting and stuff like that. But I still feel like there's just so much more than
What do you think the
people who, if
proportion
you're just
shift
born with it.
is?
Like if you're just born gay, like there'd be so much gay people, right? So like in 1920, like there should be the same number of gay people than today, right?
There might have been, and then they just weren't open about it.
I know, but
I mean,
I
why
feel
would
like there
they be?
wasn't
They'd
that
literally
many
be like
people that were not open.
lobotomized. I think they
I don't
did
think
that
they
to
were
Alan
that.
Turing. Like Alan Turing, he basically won the war, or I don't know. I wouldn't say he basically won the war for us, but he was like instrumental part of winning World War II for the Allies. But you know, he was
Yeah,
gay,
he cracked the Enigma code.
and they lobotomized him. This is like the
Yeah.
1950s.
Well, I'm just talking about like the fact that there's no way there's the same amount of gay people today than there was 100
Yeah,
years ago.
there always has been. It's just that we weren't, for one, we weren't really counting them because we were putting them in mental institutions and unaliving them. But now, if we're talking about the uptick, for one, a lot of people are sexually exploring. So if we're using surveys to say, you know, asking people if they're gay or not, at some point in their sexual exploration, they might be gay, or they might be, you know, they might say that they're gay or pansexual, and then they understand themselves to be
Yeah, I
straight
understand like
later.
they're underground and stuff like that, and they're like obviously they're not like gonna come out, right? Because there's no
Well,
reason
yeah,
to. But like
exactly.
I'm fat because there's like millions and millions of gay people. There's no way there's millions and millions of people who were secretly gay in the 1920s. I just don't
Oh,
believe that at
y-
all.
I don't know why you wouldn't believe that, considering we have like so much ancient art that's dedicated to like you know, like gay sex. So like in Mesopotamia, we can track this back, Greek and Romans, and like looking through history, there's obviously like, you know, thousands upon thousands of people that were making art about gay people having sex. So why would I not believe that that's still not the case today? That, you know, it's just that we became you know, I would say, you know, we started hurting gay people, so they started going, you know, back in the closet. But at some point, you know, gay sex was fine. Just kind of fluctuated.
Yeah.
And also another thing, like if there's nothing wrong with being gay, then like why is there like so few gay people compared to like the rest of the human population?
Well, because
like
it's
a rare
so
thing to be
sure.
gay.
So this is going to come down to like an evolutionary explanation. So it seems like the role that being gay serves in terms of like, or like evolutionarily speaking, is that gay people have the advantage to your human society that they contribute resources, but they don't have children, so they don't have like a further thing that takes up resources. It's almost like a natural mechanism of not becoming overpopulated. It takes a lot of resources to raise a human from childhood to adulthood. You don't want humans to just be like mass replicating like rabbits, for example, because you know rabbits are mature very quickly. Humans take a really long time, and your society will simply collapse if there are too many children because you just won't have enough resources. So you know, gay people allow you to counterbalance out that problem, and there's like lots of good genetic research for that too. One of the biggest indicators that you'll be gay is whether or not the person who birthed you, you know, your mother, has already birthed sons. If you're like the third son, you're way more likely to be gay than if you're the first son. And that
Really?
fits perfectly into the explanation that, you know, as you have, as you're clearly able to have more and more children, there might be evolutionary reasons where you don't want all of these children to have children. Instead, you want some of them that are just contributing resources to the society.
Okay. Well, this is an interesting fact, but like it still doesn't mean like it should be like if you're born gay, then it's kind of like a special trait. I don't know, like a special disease. Like
I don't know if I'd say it's a
like
autism
disease.
or something like that.
Well, I mean, in some sense, it like kind of is.
I'm not saying it's a disease. I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
like it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Like I think it's
I'm
like
just-
obviously false to say, okay, but you seem to agree that it's not accurate to say that it's a disease. But yeah, it's like it's a rare trait. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rare trait.
Same thing with like a lot of other rare traits.
Yeah, but like that's like not normal. You know?
It
What?
depends what we mean by normal. If by
Yeah.
normal you just mean like something that only humans do, then I mean by that logic it would be wrong to be having this debate because only humans have debates.
It's like if it's like if I had a baby who was born without like a leg or something like that, like it's
You
like
mean
the
like
same thing.
statistically abnormal? Like I agree that it's statistically abnormal. I don't
Yeah.
think that it's wrong to be statistically abnormal. Like I don't think like having like red hair means that you've done something wrong.
Yeah, but it's like something wrong. There's something
Do you,
wrong with
hang on, what percentage of the population is black?
in the U.S.
Yeah.
like 30%.
Do you think that
bit
they're
lower,
wrong?
but
I thought it was higher. The U.S.
I don't
population?
know.
and 13. No, it's 13%, I believe.
Like, wait, there's 13% of black people. I think it's higher than that. There's no way. But
What
anyway, like,
percent of the population?
13 is still like a small population or a portion of the population, by the way.
Yeah, it's 13 to 15.2.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's still like if you walk around the street, like you see a black person every day.
Yeah, you see gay people every day too.
Yeah,
you just
like,
won't know it unless
rarely.
like some men you have no idea.
You would rarely see a gay person and a black person.
That's not true. You just
How do you know if they're gay?
Yeah.
I have a good gaydar.
Clearly not.
The only way that you'd be able to like tell people are gay is if they're being flamboyant, but gay people have gaydars. You don't, unless you're gay.
Well, I can't have a gaydar?
No, that's for gay people.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an evolutionary advantage.
I could definitely have a gaydar. Stop it.
No, I mean, if you're bisexual, sure.
I don't know.
But we can tell traits about each other because
you tell me I can't tell when someone else is gay.
You can if they're flamboyant, but you can't tell. Like I can
totally. I'm like 90%. That's my
probably because you're bisexual. That's fine though. But I'm not talking about you. I'm saying that most people can't actually tell if you're straight, right? Because it's an evolutionary advantage for gay people to be able to look at each other and be able to tell so they can hide. We can also see traits, right? I can clock, like, for example, like, you talk about, like, disabilities. Like, somebody with ADHD can easily clock if somebody else has ADHD, or somebody with autism can easily clock if somebody else has autism. It's just...
But could you agree with me that ADHD is not a good thing, right?
I don't grant that.
I don't grant that,
You don't agree with that?
No.
Come on. Like, you don't want your child to have ADHD.
Why not?
I don't see the issue with my child having ADHD.
Oh my god.
I would push for more social inclusion and for them to for teachers to be not so strict and understand ADHD more in the classroom.
Yeah, I would know what they need. Like,
I
grew up with ADHD, so I know what they need. You know, we'd be getting them on, we'd be speed running like max dosage of Adderall, because that's just
not
like
good.
no, it is
Adderall's not good
good.
for you.
No, it literally is good. It's like life changing. That's not cope. I feel like I don't know. It's like empowering beyond belief. You know, if Adderall wasn't empowering, then why would all the neurotypical college kids be taking it?
True.
Because it's like a cheat.
Exactly. It's great. It's a fantastic thing that you have access to. You have access to like a ton of fantastic things as a person with ADHD. You know, for example, on my standardized tests, I got time and a half. I got like crazy high standardized testing scores because I just got extra time. These are like the sorts of things that you have access to. No, you don't even need to be. You just need to have ADHD. There's like a whole bunch of advantages that, like, I think I would be a great parent for a kid with ADHD because I know all of the ways, I know, like, on a personal level, all the things that they need to be successful in their life, like how to properly structure a life for somebody with ADHD such that they'll be productive. I know, like, in terms of like medication, what they'll need to succeed. And then I know about like a lot of the various, like, I don't know, advantages that you can get if you want.
I just totally disagree with this.
Which part, all of those things are just facts. Like,
if you ask, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like which part of that do you disagree? Oh, okay. Are you just disagreeing with the conclusion? Like, you don't think that you still don't think so?
I think, like, if you have ADHD, there's something wrong with you.
I don't know what it means. Like, morally wrong with you?
I mean,
mentally,
it's a mentally wrong. I mean, it's a neurodevelopmental. Sorry, it's
exactly.
Neurodevelopmental disorder, but I don't know why that would mean
it's a disorder.
Yeah, but I don't know why that would make them wrong, or that I wouldn't want my child to have that. For example, like, you know, like people with ADHD are only going to complain about societal issues and maybe some like executive dysfunction. But that would be true of like people with autism as well. So, but I don't see why if you ask people with ADHD, most of the things that they're going to struggle with are just exterior things, not by themselves.
I think this is cope. Like, people are saying, like, ADHD
you have somebody with ADHD right in front of you, and they're not telling you they'd get rid of it.
Yeah, it's like incredibly empowering. Also,
it's not.
Okay, you also have I read like a study, I want to say, but apparently the group with the highest IQ is people who have ADHD, I think.
I thought it was autism.
I think it's like
1 in 1,000. I I think it's like 1 in 1. Well, maybe it's 1 in 100 would be savants, as opposed to neurotypicals would be 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 1,000 would be savants. But I think autistic people, maybe it's ADHD has a higher IQ, but I would say autistic people are the ones that have been known for having the highest IQs.
Okay, how about this? Let's switch from ADHD to like a child without an arm. Like that's not a good thing. You don't want your child to have no.
Because there's going to be things that they
arm.
lose out on. Like if I had to choose like arm or no arm, obviously I'm going to choose arm, but I think that that's different.
Okay, so that's the same thing with me with straight and gay.
Okay. I mean, what are they going to lose out on necessarily?
Yeah, what's a gay like what's me as a lesbian losing out on in life?
Also, okay, I would also
I
say
just
that
think
the
there's,
person
like,
without the
something
arm,
wrong with
the person
that.
without the arm loses out on things and doesn't like regain like new, different, unique things in like a different area of life. Whereas probably the gay person does. They
Yeah, but
they
the
lose
gay
out on some
person's
sex
missing out
acts
on,
and then
like,
they gain different sex acts.
they're missing out on like pussy, which is really really important.
Okay.
Who?
Does that make your? Do you think it's okay to be lesbian then?
Well then they're missing out on dick.
Okay, what if they don't care?
But we're not attracted to that, so we wouldn't be missing anything. Like I'm as a lesbian, I'm not missing anything.
Well, yeah, you are. You're missing dick.
No, I'm not missing it. Missing would imply. I mean,
Well, because you
that I would want
understand
it.
there's something wrong with you in that.
Missing would imply I want it, and I don't.
You don't wait. So you don't want it? Yeah, it's because there's something wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong with me that I don't know that I don't want dick.
But
What's your
this is, like, the whole
criteria
argument.
for wrongness?
Like, it's like saying like, oh, like, I want to have a donut instead of a salad. Like, there's something wrong with that.
Why would there? What?
What?
That was like the worst fucking hypothetical you could have thrown.
I just don't share that intuition. I think that there's lots of situations, you know, let's say somebody, I don't know, like eats normally and then they want a donut one day. Sounds good. You know.
Also, I don't want my child to be fat either. That would be really
Okay.
bad.
Well, I mean, sometimes, like, well, for one, like being overweight sometimes has to do with hormones. So they can't really help that.
Okay,
It's fat
stop it.
distribution.
That's a whole different argument. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
we're
that's
really like derailing here, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, do you think you're missing out on dick? Do you think everyone should be bisexual because, you know, that way you maximize both like the dick and the pussy?
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
good point.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. Think about the potential, the possibilities. It's all at your fingertip.
No, I actually don't. I don't think I'm missing out. Because
Okay.
like, I think I'm like normal in some sort of way.
Okay. I just don't know why abnormal means that they're okay. Do you think that there's something like morally wrong with being gay?
Yeah, that's I've been saying that the whole time.
Okay. What's morally wrong with it? I don't think that it's morally wrong to be like abnormal
Oh no,
statistically.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were saying something. Yeah, morally wrong. I don't think there's something morally wrong.
Okay,
I
sure.
think there's something wrong, like a disorder.
But there's nothing that substantiates that.
Yeah.
So what, like the DSM-5 doesn't say it. You'll find it in the DSM-3. But we don't really go by lobotomizing people anymore. So like, what DSM are you going after, and do you hold to?
Wait, sorry. Could you repeat that? I was not listening.
What DSM do you hold to that like says that being gay
DSM.
is like mentally wrong?
DSM.
Oh, what? Like, well, it's like what you said with ADHD. Like, you think ADHD is good. Like, I think being gay is like it's not bad, but there's something wrong with it. Just like how
I'm asking you. Okay, when you
wrong
say
with it.
wrong, though, you're saying mentally an equivalence to ADHD or autism,
Yeah.
but those are both neurodevelopmental
Wait,
disorders.
okay. Well, I actually might agree with you. If you're saying like being gay is like wrong or like abnormal in the sense that like ADHD is, well, I think I might just agree with that because I
Yeah.
don't think that there's like anything, I don't know, like I don't attach any sort of like normative significance. Like I wouldn't choose the non-ADHD kid over the ADHD kid. I don't think that there's like
you wouldn't shoot. Why would you not do that?
because
that
you
doesn't make any
get
sense.
because I already have experience as like a person with ADHD. Like I know what this kid would need to succeed. And also there are like unique experiences associated with ADHD. Things like, I don't know, being able to like hyper focus on something. Like you can like seriously lock the fuck in.
I just don't understand. Like, I feel like, okay, how about this? Like, if your child had if you had the opportunity to choose like if your child had to wear glasses or not. You would choose no glasses, right?
Probably, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not
It's
sure that
kinda
there's
like-
like something that I don't think that there's like unique experience that's gained. So I think probably my criteria is that if you just like lose out on functionality and you don't gain like any sort of unique experience from the loss of functionality, then I'd probably say, you know, I would rather the child who doesn't lose out so that they have like more options. But I mean, I don't think I'd say that that's true. If the sort of things that you lose out on, there's like equivalent things that you gain.
Yeah, but like, I don't think there's nothing like you don't miss it. You're not missing out on anything. I think it's just like you're just weird and like different.
Weird.
That's what I think.
I feel like weird is like quite a term.
No, weird could be a good thing, but I
I
think
mean, you're
being gay
using it in a
is
negative
weird.
connotation, though. Like, you didn't say like weird in a good way. You said weird in a bad
Well,
way.
weird is like abnormal. That's what the definition of it is.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else before we move on to the next guest?
No, I appreciate.
Yeah,
this.
thanks for coming up. Well, make sure you're tapping on that screen share with your friends and all that good stuff. Let's read some super chats. Jackie Claps, thanks so much for the super chat. If God demands you to obey him and in heaven you are changed to obey him indefinitely, charged to obey him indefinitely, unless banished to hell, then there really was no free will to begin with. Live your lives, people. That's true. You know, God gave you free will because he doesn't want robots. And then, you know, if you don't act like robots, it's like that one scene from like the Star Wars movie where the Emperor is like fucking like shooting all the lightning into the sky to like pull down all of like the star cruisers. You know, that's what God's gonna do to you if you don't act like a robot. Dusk Frame, thanks so much for the super chat. My mother is gay and she came out later in life after having kids. I think that's pretty cool and based. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I'm sure that that's like a pretty unique experience. Kaylin Martell, thanks so much for the super chat. Not me ugly crying when Ian said he'd want an autistic child. Parents love saying how awful it would be to parent my autistic ass. Yeah, well, you know, I think, I don't know, I have experience with that. I would love to have an autistic child. I would love to have an ADHD child. I would have a pretty good idea. I'd like to think that I would have like a good idea about like the sort of things that they're experiencing and the sort of things that they need to succeed about, you know, how to properly structure their lives, how to, you know, how best to help them succeed. Liquid, thanks so much for the super chat. Adderall is cope. Is schizophrenic meds cope too? Helping MAGA deconstruct, thanks so much for the super chat. The koala brain of Josh is super impressive. Whoa, Grimlock. Holy shit. Thanks so much for that $50 super chat. That's massive, Grimlock. Let's get a big W for Grimlock. I really appreciate that. Like deeply. I appreciate that. Huge supers like that allow me to do all the things that I want to do. I'm looking to upgrade my desk soon so I can get an insane monitor set up. You know, I want to have the fucking Batcave setup going. And it's gonna require like a bit of funds. So I appreciate it. I appreciate for your help in saving. Yeah, a new pen. I do need a new pen so that when I lose it, when it falls to the ground. Okay, Axel sent a super, so I'll bring him up. Hey, how's it going?
Oh shoot! All right, what's going on, man?
Yeah, how old are you?
20.
Yep.
20 years of
And
age.
do you think that there's something wrong with being gay?
I do. I do think there's something wrong with being gay.
Okay, what do you think's wrong with being gay?
There's a couple different things that are wrong with being gay, in my opinion. First, I feel like it's not normal. You know what I mean? It's
By
not
normal, you mean what?
By normal, I mean incongruence with the basic anatomy of a human.
Do you think that gay people have weird anatomy?
No, they don't have weird anatomy, but they're not utilizing their anatomy with their human counterparts as intended by God. First of all, do y'all believe in God?
We don't. But okay, what do you think
Okay.
the intended purpose of the mouth was?
The intended purpose of the mouth was to, expel what's not supposed to be in the body.
The
Intake
mouth?
food.
I'm supposed to like throw up with my mouth?
Yeah, when you ingest something your body doesn't like, you throw it up. That's
Okay, sure. So you think it's both to
stuff
like
like that.
intake food and then throw up when you don't
Yeah,
properly intake things? Okay, do you think it's
yeah,
wrong to
and
kiss
taking
my
what you
do you
need,
think it's wrong for me to
dispelling. No, because that's part of.
Yeah, which function of the mouth does kissing my girlfriend serve?
I'm getting cooked here. I think you got me on that one.
That's okay. I think that
I think you got
it's
me
like
on
a
that one.
really hard view to defend the idea that our body has like intrinsic like natures or like has like intrinsic things that they're supposed to be used for.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that that's like a pretty implausible theory. But is there what else? What other point? You wanted to talk about God?
No, I was just because I was gonna come at it from, religion, how it's not in congruence with what God's desires are
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But since y'all don't believe in God, I mean,
Yeah.
we can take another approach.
Yeah.
I think being gay is wrong. I'm not one of those people like Josh was he didn't seem too smart in my opinion, but he said some crazy things too. Like my best friend is gay, right?
Mhm.
And he's like one of the best guys I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
Right? Do I support the fact that he's gay? No. Am I gonna discriminate against him or treat him any different way just because he's gay? Absolutely not.
Mm.
I
Inspiring.
just think I don't know. I feel like the purpose one of our main purposes as humans is to procreate. It's to bring about offspring that is gonna contribute to society, contribute to bettering the human race in some way, shape, or form.
So, okay, do you think that let's say that I'm fertile and then I marry someone who's infertile. Do you think that I've done something wrong there?
You haven't done something wrong. You
Okay.
haven't.
So it's tough for me to see what the symmetry breaker is between that and then, being gay. Like, I'm not really sure what is
Well, I feel
different
like
between
being
these two
gay.
cases.
Well, first of all, I don't think being gay is a choice. I'll tell you that, right?
Yeah.
So being gay is not a choice. I
Yeah.
don't think it's a choice. I think there's something fundamentally wrong with the gay person's brain. Maybe it's down to the chemistry, the genes that are expressed. Something's fundamentally wrong.
What do you
Right? 'Cause it's
mean by
not.
wrong there?
I mean, incongruence with what the human body is supposed to do with its counterparts. You know what I mean? Like,
But then would you
That's
say the
it's
same
pretty
thing is
simple.
true of like, the fertile man that marries the infertile woman that like what the human is supposed to do is to have children. So therefore, like if you're a fertile man and you marry a woman who's infertile, then that means that you've done something wrong because you're not going to fulfill your purpose.
You've done something wrong to an extent. You've done something wrong to an extent.
I don't share that intuition at all. I think that's totally
You've done something
permissible.
wrong to an extent. I mean, you're supposed to, in my opinion, the point of relationship is to procreate. Ultimately, it's just to procreate.
Okay, I don't know why I would grant
If you marry
that.
someone who's infertile, you did something wrong to an extent. It depends. I mean, there's a lot of other questions. Did you know?
Wait, you said you get that from God, but the only time the
Yeah.
God references "be fruitful, multiply" is in Genesis when they
I'm
actually
not
needed
Christian.
to.
I'm
What
not
religion?
Christian.
Are you Muslim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know enough other than I don't know. There's like some morally unfortunate verses in the Quran, but I
There
mean,
are.
there's like that aside, I don't know. I mean, do you have like some reason to think that Islam is true? If Islam were true, then I'd agree with you. It probably is wrong to be gay, but that's kind of like a big hurdle to get over.
Yeah. I have plenty of reason to believe Islam is true, but I don't want to come at this from religion because I don't know. I feel like that's unfair because morality is. I feel like there's no real way to argue that. Like I believe it. We're just going off of completely different principles. There's not going to be a
Yeah.
way to find common ground when it comes through God. But
Well, I think there is like ways to debate it. Okay, so here's
I think
something
we
that
can
I
debate
think
it
is
through
absurd
biology.
about maybe I could give you like a reason why I disbelieve Islam. It's just the problem
Okay.
of hell. I think that I think hell is
Okay.
described by Islam as like completely indefensible. For the crime of being a non-believer, you're going to be tortured forever. Do you
Okay.
think that
No, no, not
not
entirely.
believing Oh, I could pull up
No,
the verse. It
that's
says pretty
main.
explicitly.
I don't think that's right, man.
This is going to be oh yeah, I should specify the Quran. That's I don't mean to be like a total piece of shit, but have you ever read the Quran?
I have.
Okay,
Once,
because
and it was quite a while ago, to be
the
honest.
Quran talks like just a little bit, like totally at length about like, you know, it says like over and over and over again, like non-believers will get hell. You know, everybody who doesn't believe are going to go to hell and they're going to be there forever. So for example, verse 98:6 is one of them. Indeed, those who disbelieve from the people of the book and the polytheists will be in the fire of hell to stay there forever. They are the worst of all beings. I don't think that I'm not sure that the crime of disbelief deserves the punishment, torture forever. Do you?
No. Where are you getting that from?
This
Are you
is
just on Google?
This is 98:6. There's like
Okay.
lots of verses in the Quran. Yeah. I am getting it from Google, but you know, only because I know that there's like lots of verses in the Quran that basically express this exact sentiment that you're gonna get tortured forever if you're a non-believer.
Tell you what, that is not really what I've been taught in my mosque. It describes hell or heaven, and where how are you going to serve your sentence as based on how much wrong you did. If that makes sense. It's like there's like a measure between your good deeds and your bad deeds.
Yeah. So, okay, the problem
it's
is
not-
that it tells you explicitly what the punishment will be in like the instance, and it just like super doesn't fit.
All right, let's take it from biology then.
Yeah, go for
You know
it.
what I mean? Let's go through biology.
Yeah.
You have a female, you have a male.
Okay.
They can reproduce. That's how it's meant to be. A male and a
Oh,
male
wait,
cannot
sorry.
reproduce.
I'll this
Yeah.
is my friend Ems. You know, he's an
I was
atheist. So he's
summoned.
very,
I have no idea
What's
why.
going on, Ems?
yeah. So we were talking about Islamic hell. So I read 98:6 that says
Surah Al-Baqarah.
it says I'm sure you already know, but it's like, you know, it's one of the many verses that say you non-believers will get tortured forever. You'll be burning forever.
So like every other verse, yes.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. That's what I was saying. I was like, there's like tons of these verses. But yeah, I mean, wait, do you want to, Axel, do you want to describe for a second what your understanding of hell is?
My understanding of hell, yeah, I mean, it's a destination for those who don't, you know, fully believe in the teachings of Muhammad.
Sure, but do you think that that's like just?
It's just. I mean, there's
Of
nothing
course
else I
it's
can say
just.
about it.
Of course it is just, Ian. God has predestined you not to believe in him, and he's torturing you for that.
Yeah, of course. You know, he put me on the. It's like God's like playing with dolls, and then he just put
It
me
is, yes.
into the camp of like people who, in the end, like he just wrote me into the story that way. And then he writes me into the story. You know, my closing lines are yeah.
It's for the plot.
Well,
come on.
But it just, I mean, there's just like verse after verse after verse where it says non-believers will be in hell burning forever.
Another thing is,
Mm-hmm.
do you speak Arabic or do you know Arabic?
I do,
you know how
yes.
to read Arabic?
I do, but you probably don't.
No, I don't fully.
And why ask the question?
I'm
You
just
put yourself
curious.
at a disadvantage.
I'm asking Ian.
No, I don't speak Arabic. Certainly not. It's a very difficult language.
He's
from what I
ginger
hear.
enough to start
Yeah.
speaking it. So
No, yeah, I try my best, but gosh, I feel like there's like some novelty. I feel like there's like some novelty where like if the language is like so far away from English, Like for example, like I don't know. I think if you speak Mandarin to somebody, if you try to like speak Mandarin to somebody who's from China, um, they might like really enjoy that. Like they'll be like very proud of you. But if you try to speak like French to someone who's from France, they'll be like completely disgusted with you. They don't know why you did that. Like they actually can't fucking
Yes.
like believe. Like they'll be talking shit about you in French to their French friends.
And to you.
Yeah, seriously. But I feel I wonder. I feel like Arabic might be the same way, where people are going to be like, you know, Arabic speakers will be like clapping for you like you're a toddler that's
They
like
would,
walking.
yes. Except when you're trying to use it to make yourself a source of authority on Islam when you don't know Arabic. So
Yeah. I bet
It's just
I bet
cringe.
for like
It's
the
cringe as
Arabic
fuck.
speaker, they would like seriously get pissed about that.
it is because you have like a random dude from fucking Missouri telling me how to speak my language.
Yeah. Rage bait. Axel, what else do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
The thing about being gay, I don't know. I feel like there's something
So-
fundamentally wrong. I don't exactly
So
know
there's
what it is,
something
but
fundamentally wrong about being gay, but there's nothing fundamentally wrong about sleeping with a child.
there is something completely fundamentally wrong with sleeping with a child.
So your God is
Okay,
wrong.
so here we go. Okay.
We got
Okay.
to the it's, you know, this is how every
Yeah.
Islam debate always goes.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to Aisha. Your
Oh.
God said you can marry children.
Oh, true.
Where does God say you can marry children?
At 65.4.
65.4?
Are these the
Mhm.
divorce rules?
Yes.
Yep. Are you familiar with the waiting period, guest? Fuck, it must be so hard to have like one night stands in
Waiting period
Islam.
for
Like you have to get married by the imam and
depends.
then you get
It depends
divorced
if
and then you
you're-
have to
If you're Shia, you can just have like 1 hour stands.
Oh, wait, if it's longer than an hour, do you have to is that where it gets
You have to
wrong?
get married. You have to get married, but you just put a time limit for Shias. Sunnis don't believe in this.
Okay.
Shias are just like Shias are like the Mormons of Islam.
That sounds like insane. Wow, they really think they're pulling a fast one on God, I suppose.
Yes.
I don't
so-
see where it says you can marry children. I'm trying to find
because
it.
you don't speak Arabic. That's why.
Okay, so 65.4 says,
don't.
as for your
Find them
women, so as for your women, no, that is right. As for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who have not menstruated as well. As for those who are pregnant, their waiting period ends with delivery, and whoever is mindful of Allah, he will make their matters easy for them. So it's saying the waiting period for people who have not yet reached puberty is 3 months.
Yeah.
So, do you know what the waiting period is for?
Yeah, well, let's go back again.
No, answer the question
we can
first.
talk about,
Do you know
we
what?
can
Do you
talk
know what the
about if
waiting
that's
period is for?
fundamentally- Yeah,
no,
we
no,
can
just
talk about.
wait.
No,
Answer.
we're not waiting. Let's
Could you answer
listen.
the
I'm not
question
interested
first?
in having
Answer the question
a
first.
bad faith debate.
It is not a bad faith debate. If he asks you a
It's a
question,
bad
you just
faith
ignored
debate.
it.
Go back to what we were
So
talking
ignoring
about.
his question makes it a bad faith debate.
It's a bad faith debate because you keep going on these weird tangents.
It is not a tangent, Habibi.
Fundamentally,
You're saying
being
that there's
wrong
something
with-
fundamentally wrong with gay sex or gay marriage, which
Yes.
then makes me question your fundamentals. If your fundamentals tell you, oh, I can sleep with a child, but they disallow
Okay,
you
another-
from sleeping, for example,
Here-
with another man, then I would say that your fundamentals are not to be taken.
I'll tell you this too. When it comes to Islam, I haven't. How do I explain? I don't necessarily, and I don't think anybody necessarily aligns 100% with every single sentence in their religion. You know what I mean?
Which
I
makes you
mean,
a kafir. Because God in
No,
the Quran says that if God and His Messenger decided upon something, it is not for a believing man or woman to go against it.
doesn't mean I disagree. It means I haven't explored.
Sure
it
that
yet
you don't
properly.
disagree that you can sleep with children. Thank you.
No. I personally would obviously not sleep with children.
Sure, but
Okay,
you don't
but I'm not
disagree that it's
saying-
okay.
No, I'm not saying.
So you're
Again, I
ruling
haven't.
against God's word
Again,
when
I'm
He
saying
said.
I haven't explored that. Or
Okay,
let's
but
say I haven't
you're just
explored.
presented the argument right now, and we have a hadith of the Prophet in which he explains those who have not menstruated to be girls who have not reached the age of menstruation, and all of the scholars agree upon the interpretation of the verse. You're presented with the argument, so you have no choice but to accept it because it is the word of God.
I haven't. Let's say I have an absolute choice to decide if I want to explore that or not.
Well, so the
And I
question,
haven't.
Exploring it is
Again, I
different.
haven't.
the question is whether or not it's wrong. Like, let's say you're like me and you find it like disgusting, revolting. You would never do that. But would
Okay.
you say that it's wrong if somebody does? Because I would say, like, it's disgusting to me, and
Yeah, it is wrong
I
if
would never
somebody
do
does.
it. And if somebody else does it, I'd say that they've done something that's egregiously wrong.
Thank you. So your God does not have a good moral compass. So I'm not going to take his word that gay marriage is wrong.
No.
Could you make it follow then if you're saying your God is wrong on moral questions and quandaries, how he's not wrong, how he couldn't possibly be wrong about the gay one?
Okay, so I'm not well equipped to defend Islam. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting cooked on that, but
That's fine. What else do you want to talk about?
Again, how there's something fundamentally wrong with being gay.
What is it?
What is fundamental?
It's wrong down to that's not the design of the human nature. The human nature is designed.
Sure, how would you know that?
To
You said you don't
procreate.
want to defend
How
your
would I know
religion.
that? Because everybody knows
Sure,
that.
no, again, you're designed to, you said that the design would imply a religion, a creator at least, and your specific flavor of that is the Islamic one, and you're saying you're not going to defend it. So how would you know how humans were designed? How do you know that humans were not designed to actually be gay? Huh?
Well, because there's how do I know humans are? What are you talking about?
So, well,
I
okay,
live as
here's
a human
something
and
that's quite
and
perplexing.
I interact with other humans, so I can clearly understand how humans are designed. Our hands are designed to grasp things. Our
So
eyes are
interacting
designed
with
to see
humans
things.
makes you, for example, understand how humans are quote unquote designed.
Say that again. Sorry.
So interacting with humans makes you able to understand how they're designed.
Yes, it's kind of common sense.
So if you have a dog, you're suddenly a veterinarian.
No, you don't have to be just because you understand how a dog is
Yeah,
designed.
but I interacted with a dog, so I know how he's designed.
No. You're interacting with the dog, so you know to what extent the dog is designed. Of course, you go into.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
If you don't know basics of a species, like its anatomy, its physiology, its histology, all these specific, basic, fundamental building units of the specific species you're looking at, you don't know how it's designed, quote unquote, if it is. You can't tell me you know how humans are designed when you don't even know the basics.
So nobody knows how anything is designed?
No, I do. You don't.
Oh, you do. I don't. Okay.
Yes.
So you know how humans are designed. I don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Ems is a doctor as well.
Yeah. So I don't know to any extent. Of course, if he's a doctor, he's going to know to a far greater extent to how humans are designed and things like
what
that.
you know about human design is as much as I know about the iPhone design.
So, okay, well, here's a question about like the supposed human design.
Yeah.
So you're saying that like the human design is oriented towards procreation, but then that's really strange because my understanding is that there's only, and Ems is going to know way more about this than I do just from his like medical background.
One of its functions.
What is it? Like there's only like 6 days where you can like really get pregnant, and then after that it's like an extremely low chance, like 6 days every month. So there's like you got like this 6-day period where this is basically the only time where you can get pregnant. It's extremely unlikely to get pregnant any other time. And then after you get pregnant, what is it? Like isn't there like a 95% chance that if you have sex, like it's going to fail because of things like miscarriages too?
Miscarriages are not that high, but
no, I know miscarriages are like 15 to 20%.
Yeah, on the highest day of fertility for a woman, it's like for a very fertile woman, it's like 30% chance.
Oh, sure. So that's even for conception to take place?
For the highest, like for a high fertility woman on the most fertile day of the month.
Okay, sure. Well, that seems like horribly designed.
That seems horribly designed.
Yeah, like a 30% chance of pregnancy?
On one day in the month.
Okay. The goal is procreation. The means to get there. Hold on. The means to get there with a man and a woman is possible. It's possible.
Actually, you do realize that in your religion, sex is not only for procreation.
Let's say it's designed bad, right? You're saying it's designed bad.
Why would it be?
It's possible.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't have a job if
pregnancy is not possible between two men, is it? It's not, right?
Doesn't have to be.
So then there's something fundamentally wrong there.
What? Why? Why would that follow?
It means you will never achieve.
You can make the same argument about marrying as a fertile man, marrying an infertile woman. There's a 0% chance of pregnancy happening there too. I don't think that makes it wrong to have sex with an infertile woman.
There's not a 0% chance of.
Sometimes
I mean,
there
infertile
is.
women have. There's a
yes,
lot.
it is. Yes, it is. If
Mm,
depending
there-
on what they have.
There's
Yeah.
absolutely
could be
not.
0%.
There's plenty of medical.
Let's say the
interventions
medical
for
condition is
infertile
that they're
women.
like literally missing their uterus.
The actual person who has no idea about medicine telling me about medicine. No, in
No,
specific circumstances.
I have a little bit of an idea about medicine.
A little bit,
Just
huh?
a little bit.
A little bit. What is a little bit? Like high school level understanding?
A little bit more than that. A little bit more.
What did you do past high level?
You did like a CPR course once.
I'm pursuing a degree in healthcare, but
Oh, that's
You're
pretty
pursuing
cool.
a degree in healthcare.
yeah,
Sure. What field of healthcare?
nursing.
Nursing. And
Yes,
how
sir,
far along are
nursing
you?
student. A couple months.
Okay.
Just
Couple
start.
months.
Not
Did you?
so.
do you know how
So
to do CPR?
we got like a couple
Sorry,
of
say
flakes
that again?
more.
Obviously, I'm way less knowledgeable about medicine than you are if you're a doctor, for sure.
Well-
I don't deny that.
Well, first of all, like
But-
total respect to you for I don't know, pursuing nursing. I think that's a great field.
Yes.
Sure, appreciate that.
But I mean, okay. So it's super unlikely that anytime that you have sex that you'll get pregnant. And then also, I mean,
And
you
another
know,
thing,
I think what we were talking about specifically is like there are conditions where there is literally just a 0% chance of pregnancy. Like for example, you know, if you have a medical condition that causes you to not have a uterus and you're a woman, there's just a 0% chance that a dude coming inside of you is going to lead to pregnancy. Like it's just not going to
Yeah.
happen. It's not on the table.
Yeah, it's like an extreme example. That's like an extreme example.
Mhm.
The
But do you
majority
think
of
it would
women
be wrong to have
uteruses
sex
that
with a
pump
person like that?
No, there would not be anything wrong with it. At all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because
what's your-
Islam
I don't
tells you
understand.
that
I don't
sex is
see-
also for pleasure. So men can
I don't
technically
really follow that
suffice
sex is
that.
for pleasure. I don't really follow that it's for pleasure.
Literally,
so.
Islam allows you to do that. But sure. God and the Prophet say that sex is for procreation and for pleasure.
Okay. Well, again, back to gay
You're
people.
How are you Muslim? Go ahead.
Back to gay people, my friend.
Mhm.
One of the functions or purposes of the human body will never be fully realized in a gay
Like
in having kids.
Same thing is
raising
true
kids.
if you
Yeah,
fuck an
sure.
infertile woman.
But this literally is not.
This is an
true,
extreme
though.
example. I mean,
This
It
is
is not an
only
extreme
true.
example.
This is only true of like homosexual cisgender men. Of cisgender women and lesbian relationships, me and my girlfriend get pregnant at the exact same time. So it seems
y'all
like
you said
maybe
you got pregnant at the same time.
They could.
no, we can. We both have
You can.
uteruses.
Okay.
We don't have any conditions. We can get pregnant at the exact same time. So it seems like your issue should probably just be with gay men.
I fail to see.
And even then,
I
you
fail
can
to see how-
the gay men could just use their sperm to surrogate.
Get a surrogate. Actually, that's true too, because they are fulfilling one part. Because they're just getting a
What are the
surrogate.
creatures? What are the creatures getting a surrogate?
What?
Yes,
I don't
they
know why.
need a
Why,
creature
why are
getting
we
a surrogate.
appealing to nature for
That
morality?
is
Are you appealing to
genuinely
nature
just
for
stupid.
morality?
Come on.
Hold on. What did I say?
I'm saying that is a stupid like example to give because what you're nursing, you should know that animals do not have hospitals. They don't do liver transplants. They don't do kidney transplants. They don't have bone marrow transplants. They don't, for example, have operations to remove tumors.
completely agree.
So
But
sure,
there's-
we should bomb all hospitals then.
Okay, I agree, but I'm saying
Like, why appeal to that?
there's some. I'm saying we're too smart for our own good.
We're
I
not,
disagree.
No.
We are completely
Your
too
own
smart
religion,
for our own
your own
good.
religion says our purpose on this earth, besides worshiping God, is to discover His wonders in science and blah blah blah. And the Prophet himself there's an entire. They recently even opened a department in the School of Medicine in Al-Azhar University, which is like a few hundred miles away from me, for prophetic medicine, following the Prophet's medicine.
Yeah.
I bet he had some good medical insights.
Yeah, like drinking urine to calm your fever.
Who's urine?
Well.
Do you have anything else?
Not really. You know, I'm.
Okay.
Y'all brought up some pretty good points. Honestly.
Hey, well, thanks for coming up. Appreciate you. All right, let's read the very next super chat. Duskframe, thanks so much for the super chat. I got up to a bit of gay behavior on the weekend, and the only consequence was both of us having fun. Funny how that works. True. The one who cares, thanks so much for the super chat. I love your logic and vibe and mission, but I really hope God is real. Not the one in the Bible, but just the universe itself gives me A way to cope with the absurdity of life, thinking of a grand intelligence or AI that loves me. Well, you should. I don't want to be evil, but it sounds like you could benefit from some friends. You know, you can have like a lot of great friends who love you, who you have like a great connection with. I don't know. One thing that I'm really grateful for is that I have, um, I made really good friends in high school, and I'm still friends with like, I don't know, more high school friends than you would expect. Entire friend groups are still together, and we see each other like every year. And now I'm getting to the point in my adulthood where like one of my friends is going to come visit me and stay with me for a week, and that's you know, it's like a friend from high school. It's so cool. But I don't know, like I think about those people loving me. Um, but yeah. All right.
By the way, it was camel urine.
Oh. That doesn't sound very. Oh, well, actually, wait. Isn't urine? I thought it was sterile.
It is. Well, yeah, it should be sterile, but that doesn't make it healthy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because
and also,
it contains
you
like
don't really
the one
expect,
toxin that you're meant to expel.
you don't really expect bacteria in your urine, but you could have it lining your epithelial, your urethral orifices, and you could carry bacteria down it.
Sure. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's
I'm
fine.
so stressful. I'm so stressed. It's like
That's okay. Yep. How
I'm not used to. I'm 19.
Yep.
I'm not used to like talking in front of a big audience.
It's okay.
And it's also like past midnight, so.
That's okay. Yeah. What do you think there's something wrong with being gay?
Yes, I do believe that there's a lot of things that's wrong with being gay.
Like what?
The main. I don't really. I'm worried that you'll just like kick me off for like.
Just don't say slurs.
Yeah, I won't say any slurs.
It's like kind of the only criteria. And then, you know, don't say slurs. And if you make like really fucked up arguments, then I might be mean to you. But yeah, typically if you come in humble, I won't be mean to you. But yeah, I
Right,
mean,
well,
you're totally fine so far. But yeah, I mean, what do you think is wrong about it?
well, I do believe that like homosexuality is like it's an agenda pushed to destroy the proper meaning of masculinity and femininity, and like as a result, it demoralizes
who?
society.
Who do you think is pushing this?
Well, I want to say the government.
Why? Why would they want
there's a lot
that?
A big gender.
Because I mean I don't really I mean you have people who trust the government and people who don't trust the government. I wouldn't really trust the government just because I do believe I don't really know. I can't really finish my argument just because I'll get kicked for what I'm about to say. For, like anti-Semitism and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I mean, I was like suspecting that it was going to arrive here. I don't know, man. I just like,
Yeah.
why would they want that? Why would anyone want that? Also, I mean, like even Judaism, I don't know, like Judaism as a religion has a long history of being gay accepting, specifically like lesbian accepting. That there aren't clear prohibitions on being lesbian in the Torah. I don't know why you think like Jewish people would want to like push.
I'm not talking specifically about Judaism because I mean in the Bible there are a few verses which talk about how where Jesus says that Israel the like synagogue of Satan and stuff, and they're really against Christianity, and they would really like want to destroy Christian nations just because and split people apart. So woman usually it's a woman who advocate for LGBT rights, immigration and stuff because women, I believe, are a lot easier to manipulate into socialist thinking just because they can kind of like use the emotions that women have to split us apart. And financially, when you're looking for like a relationship, when you're looking to raise a child, you really want to like share the same values as a man and a woman want to share the same values as each other when they raise children and
So,
have.
so I gotta cut you off really quick, because you said a lot of things that are false. So let's just go through them. So one of the things that you said that was false is that like women have like a lot of emotions. But I mean, if you want like a peer-reviewed study, so the study is titled "Gender and Emotion Expression: A Developmental Contextual Perspective." Basically, what the study argues is that men and women feel the same level of like emotionality. But then there's like the difference comes in like the expression of it, whereas like men are, I think, more likely to bottle it up, whereas like women are more likely to express it. But they feel like the same level of emotions. I mean, everybody feels the same level of like, I don't know, when there's like a bad faith actor trying to rhetorically like manipulate people. But I mean, I gotta
You
be
might
so
have
honest
misworded
with
it.
you. I know this is like anecdotal, but like you're a man and you're spouting off to me like conspiracy theories. Like clearly you have fallen victim to propaganda. I think it's just a bit ironic that you're talking about like women falling ironic to things like socialist propaganda, when I can only imagine how your Twitter feed looks.
Well, I don't use Twitter, but well, I do get where you're coming from. I was like raised in a very religious environment. I mean, just like most people who kind of are against LGBT rights and whatnot, but I do believe that LGBT is like it is just an agenda basically made to make woman and men and women mainly hate each other just
Why?
because.
Gay men love women.
I mean, I'm not talking about specifically gay men. I believe that men who have most men are raised in a way to have traditional values, and just because they have their hormones are like that, and
What the
it's
fuck?
really hard to come across. I'm tired.
That's like I would love the justification or like some sort of like empirical evidence for that claim that men have like the hormones that cause them to have traditional values.
I mean, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just like,
Come on, of
I'm
course.
tired.
It's,
I'm not.
we
I'm
studied
not.
that in
I'm not
second year
entirely.
grad school. Traditional hormone. It's very known.
Yeah.
Trad hormone.
I'm sorry. You're like hard to understand.
Of course.
No
go ahead.
offense, but you
You
sound
should
like
have heard his old microphone.
Yeah, I'm using the same mic. Just TikTok hates me. I had to
Really?
update it. Yes.
Okay.
I had like it hates my voice for some reason.
Yeah. No, I remember when he first came on the scene, I was like, fuck, I really don't want to bring this guy up because he has like horrible audio. And then your audio got fixed, and then I don't know. I've totally
I'm using
changed my
my
mind
phone.
about you.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault, I promise. It's just TikTok hates me.
Clearly.
I'm sorry. I fully like respect everyone. I don't want to really come off as an incel.
Well,
it's not what I'm trying to do. It's just I'm a little tired and I can't really form my arguments too well just because.
If you want to come back like a different day, that would be fine. I don't know. You should like seriously reevaluate your beliefs. You should, I don't know, try to see if you can cash any of your beliefs out in like empirical studies, for example. That might be like a good test to see how much of this stuff is like real and how much of this stuff is like propaganda, is to see like the degree to which there's like empirical data for the things that you believe.
I just don't think it's a coincidence that like every major liberal movement that was started, like the first trans surgery, the biggest LGBT campaigns, feminism and immigration, it was all like all of the movements were started by Well,
Who's the Jewish person
you-
that started the feminist movement?
I would have to. I don't really remember.
What was the other ones that you listed?
What about the sexual liberation?
LGBT. It was, for example, Magnus Hirschfeld.
Magnus Hirschfeld is the first
he
person
started
to
the
advocate for gay rights.
I mean, he wasn't the first person, but he was one of the first.
Why did you single him out?
Wait, it's Stonewall.
I mean,
Who threw the
most of them
in
would do
America? In America, they got the rights starting to move. Who was the person that started? Who threw the stone, or threw the brick rather, through
Sorry?
Stonewall? It's Stonewall in America for how gay rights, the sexual liberation started happening in America. How did or who threw the brick?
I'm not.
It was
American, so I
a
don't really
black
look
trans
like-
woman, by the way.
No, it wasn't. That's a misconception.
Oh,
But
fucking damn it! I fell victim to the propaganda.
it's okay. It's okay. She's still very important though. Marsha P. Johnson's very important.
Fuck.
We don't know her name, but it was, everybody said that pretty much there was probably like a Butch woman. But we don't know her name. We don't know who she was.
Yeah.
So like, and that's who started Stonewall, which then started the riots a day later, in June 29th, 1969. And you're saying that that's been started by Jewish people?
So, I mean, if your critique is literally just that there's like Jewish people in progressive movements, well, that's like, no contest there. There's like every type of person in progressive movements.
He got us.
I disagree.
Can you name one movement where there isn't like every type of person in?
Well, that's not what I'm. There's obviously people who started the movements, and they could just be like victims to propaganda, and that's why they started the movement. So it obviously wasn't only Jewish people. I mean,
If you want like a better explanation, I have a far more plausible hypothesis for why Magnus Hirschfeld was so adamant about gay rights, which is that he was gay. That seems to probably be the thing that
he had an abusive father. So
okay. Do you think that having an abusive father makes you gay?
I mean, no, but I believe that if you don't have the proper if your parents aren't doing the proper roles in a family, you could be raised wrong. And I believe that for a child to be raised correctly, he needs both a father and a mother in his life, because a mother is kind of a mother.
Go ahead.
We just want to know,
how does that cause you to like penis?
Yeah. We're just trying to figure that out. We're looking for like, well, where's the connection between that and being gay?
Like, let's say my dad is a drunkard who doesn't raise me, and my mother just is never home, and she comes over at the weekends. How would that make me like dick?
You could become more feminine and stuff, but it's also like other.
How it would make me become more feminine? How would it make me become more feminine, and how does me being more feminine make me like penis? Go ahead. Exactly.
These are like, these feel like they should be like really basic connections. Like there should be, if what you're saying is true, there should be a basic, easy to establish connection between like how feminine you're raised and like whether you turn out to be gay. But it just kind of seems like there isn't.
Well, there is, because I mean, if a man acts like a woman, then I mean,
sure. Let's
you
say
can
I
look
act
at most
like a woman.
You can look at gay people. I mean, most of them they just don't act like men. They don't act like men at all.
How do you act like a man?
I mean, by being more masculine. Like, it's not that complicated.
Okay, well, if that was true, then you would expect like all the looks maxers to be gay, but they're all like straight.
And also, I could say from my perspective, you sound feminine.
Well, that's because, I mean, I am young and...
Sure, but I could say that. That doesn't mean that you're feminine. Masculinity and femininity are just staples that you know what one is and
Well,
what
yeah,
the
I
other is.
know. I believe most people really
What is
don't understand
masculine for
what
you,
proper
for another
masculinity
culture,
is
is
and
going to be
proper
feminine.
femininity is. I think
Mhm.
that being masculine really means that, like, some
are
people
you able to
respect
grow a
their
beard,
own.
by the way?
Sorry?
Are you able to grow a beard, by the way?
Not really.
If you were able to and then you shaved it, is that feminine?
Well, no.
Okay. In my culture, that makes you a woman.
Well, so you're probably just from an Arab country,
Exactly.
right?
Which is illustrating my point that what makes one thing masculine in one country and one culture makes it feminine in another. There is no
Oh,
there
yeah.
is no roadmap for what is masculine and what is feminine.
Well, yes, because I mean, it really
it's
just depends
culture-based.
on the country you're living in.
Yeah, you know, this
sure.
is Ems is like the most masculine individual to ever walk the earth. You know, this is like an actual picture of him.
Well, I believe you. I mean, M's.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
should.
M sounds really smart, so.
Yeah, he definitely is. But hey, listen, you know, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Otherwise, you know, I might head on out.
I'll just come back kind of.
Okay, please.
Got my.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you got cooked. Gay bad because Jews.
True. I hadn't considered. This is many have been saying this. Many have been saying this. I don't know. Okay.
Would you not agree that there is no masculine and feminine thing without actual societal definitions that are relative to each society?
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if there's I wouldn't be too surprised if there are dispositions that come from genetics to behave in specific ways, and then those dispositions shape a lot of the gender roles. But certainly the huge differences in gender roles from societies to societies.
Would you say that putting eyeliner is feminine?
I don't think that that's inherently feminine or masculine.
A lot of people would think that it's feminine.
Yeah, that's obviously stupid.
The prophet always had eyeliner on.
Ooh, diva.
Yeah.
That would be, gosh, what's the? No.
And he always had long hair, and he would always braid his hair.
True. He kept himself well groomed.
Mm-hmm. So there is no masculine and feminine.
Yeah. The JD Vance of Islam. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Dr. Fudge, thanks so much for the super chat. We have depictions of homosexuality going back about 4,500 years ago in Egypt. This conspiracy has been going on a long time, it seems. True. I don't know. That makes sense. But anyway, Molly, do you have anything else?
Who?
Molly's my, I don't know what role. Maybe a manager. Molly just helps me with a lot of things. So she does all of the super chat manager. Yeah, Molly, self-identified gremlin. Yeah, Molly's the gremlin that helps out around the stream and in the Discord, which you should all be a part of. We're doing a reading group in the Discord. It's discord.gg/allegedly Ian. We're reading chapter 16 of Michael Huemer's Knowledge, Reality, and Value. Would you let a child drown in a lake if you saw a child drowning in a lake? Obviously not. But how is that any different than the fact that you could easily give a lot of money that you would have spent on things like DoorDash and fast food? You could have given that money over to a charity. You could be saving lives of lots of children with the excess money that you have, and you don't do that. So is that as bad as the person that walks away from the child drowning in the lake? Michael Huemer argues, yeah, basically.
What would you say about the fact that most, if not all, charities are very corrupt?
Yeah. That well, okay. So think about it like this. Let's say that there's a high chance that the child in the lake, you can easily go in. It's gonna totally ruin your pants. but you can easily go into the lake and you can fish the child out, but in fact, it kind of looks like the child is already dead. There's like a high likelihood of the child being dead. But it's like basically, relatively speaking, it's like no cost to you. You're probably like very obligated to go into that lake still if there's like any shot at all that it's going to happen. And also, I mean, you could just give to the charities that are actually going to do well. But definitely, like a lot of them are probably corrupt and shit. But I know Michael Humer gives examples of charities that are gonna. It's actually gonna go where you want it to go. One sec. Let me look. Knowledge. Where is it? Fuck. I looked for Michael Humer in my computer, and all I found were these like pictures of him looking low-key ugly. Okay, I found the chapter. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, UNICEF is a good charity. Super good poverty relief organization. There's like basically zero chance that that's gonna turn out to be just like a hoax. You can also go to givewell.org. So probably the response you want to give is that like it's not true. That's not the scenario you're in. You could give in such a way where it's not going to end in like some super corrupt scenario. And then even if you were, it might still even be obligatory.
Would you say that it would be better to actually go and do the volunteer work yourself than to give the money?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because they already have like the infrastructure in place. They don't need you. They need your money. They don't need you.
I mean, to be fair, like I've been in the Red Crescents for a few years, and most of what they lack is workforce. It is like the Islamic version of the Red Cross. It's a UN organization, and we do like medical carnivals and stuff like that. And most of the time, they lack actual willing doctors to go and join them.
So, okay, well, here's a thought. So, if you don't go and work, well, if you're a doctor, then maybe it would be. But okay, actually, I don't think so. Because, okay, so here's the question. Let's say you give very regularly, you give large portions of your salary very regularly. It might just be better for you to stay at your current job and then give regularly. Like that might just have a higher impact. Although, I don't know. It might.
It depends, I guess.
I think it probably depends on like the empirics. But I also don't know if you have a moral obligation to uproot your entire life. Like, for example, let's say you were gonna save the child, but I mean, if you like save the drowning child, you like fucking teleport to like the middle of nowhere where you know nobody, and it's gonna take you like years to return home. I don't know if you're morally obligated to save the child in that instance. I don't know. What are people's intuitions? Like, I think it would be really praiseworthy. Like, if you do that, I think that would be like a great thing to do. But I don't think you're like a bad person if you don't do that.
Would you say it is better to personally fund a singular person's, for example, treatment, than to invest in a charity in which you know the vast majority of the money is going to go to other things? Like, for example, if you regularly like save a specific amount every month up until a year, and then you take the yearly combination with all of the interest and blah blah blah, and then you use it to pay somebody's bills off for their medical bills, for example, then to give it to a actual charity in which 80%, 90% is going to go to waste.
I think there's probably a valid question there about like the person's relation, but let's say they're like if it's just like
random person,
random person, then I think it's probably determined just by the impact. Like if you have a smaller impact. If the impact that you have from giving to the massive charity is smaller than the impact you have just like paying for the person's treatment, then at that point, I think you should probably just do the one with the bigger impact.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And thank you for having me up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Thanks
sorry
for coming on up.
Old audio problems.
No, you're
actually
totally
said the
fine.
same thing.
Totally fine.
He said the same thing 2 weeks ago, by the way.
Oh wait, who did?
TikTok was horrible. Blitz.
Oh yeah.
He said exactly word for word the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, to be honest with you, Blitz and I used to talk about it. We were like, "Fuck, not this guy." But no, we totally, like, seriously, we totally changed our minds. We were like, I don't know. We were, yeah.
I couldn't
I don't know.
help it. TikTok just
You're a
on
fantastic
Discord.
guest. Yeah, TikTok had to nerf
Thank
you
you.
somehow.
I sounded perfect on Discord, but then when I came to TikTok, same device, it would just be fucked up. But anyways,
You know who I think is responsible for that? Benjamin
Allah?
Netanyahu. He's trying to prevent you from succeeding.
Oh, he wants Islam to spread?
Yeah.
Probably,
He's
no?
playing like 8-dimensional chess, the likes of which you couldn't even begin to fathom.
Yeah, thank you for having
Yeah, thanks so
Have
much
a
for
good
coming on up. Possum Punks, thanks so much for the super chat. Caller yearns for a pair of cat ears. Embrace it. I don't know if I feel comfortable making that sort of claim, but well, anyway, it's been great. I'll see you all later. Have a great one.
Take care, Ian.
Yep, later. Thanks so much for coming on up.